The Dutch brothers! What's going on, Dutch bros?
Very fun stuff.
Is it really a battle when it's like a boot stepping on an ant?
What?
All I wanted to do was wake
Duty
up and like have a
is
nice
the
relaxing
boot, bro.
morning, have a coffee, breakfast,
Just
get
chill
ready
out.
for my show, and
Oh boy,
gotta
here we go with
find
the
out
same
that,
bullshit
Duty
excuses.
is live streaming and self-imploding, and Keemstar's going on his show. They're talking about me. I'm like, can I just have a normal day? Like,
No.
I'm gonna talk about this fucking guy. I guess not.
The vortex is in full effect, Phil. We're all being sucked in by your grandeur, by your opulent sire. There's just no escape from your orbit, bro.
Well, I'll let me know when Josh is ready, by the way. But I want to ask you this. So, okay. So we had the battle today. We talked about it already. It's the battle of what is fair use.
Oh,
And
Josh
this-
is ready.
He's
Let's
ready?
give
Okay,
him a
then
call.
fuck it. All right, let me add him in here. 1 sec.
Yeah,
We'll
and
save that
DSP
topic for
exposed he doesn't
later.
understand what fair use is, and he thinks that just because he
Where is
puts
he
the
messaging
content
you
on the
at?
internet that he has like this exclusive
Can
copyright.
you just DM me his username so I can add it in? I know I have it, but I
If it's
forgot
not
what it was.
copywritten, then it's not it's not copywritten content.
He's dodging. He's dodging already.
Yeah, he's dodging.
He's in fear of the king. Okay, hold on.
No worries. I'm just scrolling through.
All right, we've added Josh
yeah.
here.
Beautiful. All right.
Josh, how are you doing today?
Josh Moon's here and DarksydePhil.
Yo.
Hello.
Whoa.
Oh,
this is
shit.
nuts.
Wow, this is surreal, folks. Whoever thought it could happen? Josh Moon and DarksydePhil on the same stream.
That's
I don't
nuts.
know which of you wants to open up and kind of give your thoughts on this.
Oh, okay, good.
Does anybody have
okay.
a preference?
Well, I mean, for me, like, first of all, like you said, who would have thought this ever would have happened? Because until
Nice.
like early August,
Big ups, Emma.
I was like
All right.
the whipping boy of the internet. No one cared about what I thought. No one wanted to hear my opinion on anything.
Okay, Ronnie,
And now
I'm gonna
it's
give
like,
you a call,
people
bro.
Actually, would like to see me have a conversation with
What,
Josh.
you gonna
and
come up?
Talk
Come
about
here.
the whole Kiwi Farms thing. So it's like things are changing so quickly right now, and this is like for me. I just want to preface this, all right, before we get started. I want to have a real conversation with you, Josh, because I think you know why I want to have a conversation with you in regards to.
Uh-oh, here we go.
But I don't want this to be like an attack session. I want us to have a real conversation about how things are going and possibly the future, because things are turning around for me right now in a very positive way. And this is like a door opening. You know what I'm saying?
You are
Like,
such a moron.
Public opinion about me is changing. And now would be the time to have civil conversations with people who maybe I never was able to reach out to and talk with before. Like, I wouldn't even know how I ever would have even gotten in contact with you until I started hanging out with these guys. And now look at all this stuff that's going on. So
All right,
I
well,
just need you to
Josh,
understand that. I don't want this to, I'm not going to be attacking Josh or anything like that, but we have things to discuss.
all right, Josh. Well, do you want to open up with your thoughts on this whole thing, talking to Phil and stuff like that?
I think everybody. I would actually kind of disagree that only recently people have wanted to speak with you. I think that you've not wanted to speak with people for quite a while. For instance, I know that Mike Klum was trying to interview you for a documentary, and you backed out of that just this year. So I think people have always been kind of receptive to hearing what you have to say, and I think that you've been kind of a recluse.
The thing is, the things that people wanted to talk to me about are not things that are anyone's business, nor do I want to talk about. They want to talk about my personal finances. They want to talk
But
about
you
what I
make
have in
them
the house. They
people's
wanna talk
fucking
about
business,
my
bro.
mobile game habits. They want to talk about my bankruptcy. I don't want to talk about that stuff. I want to talk about games. I want to talk about having fun, chilling, just having a conversation, doing normal things that people do on the internet that apparently I'm not allowed to do because I was the focus of the internet's ire for the greater part of a decade. Now, all of a sudden, I appear on Kino Casino, and it's like night and day. Everyone likes me now. Everyone wants to hang out with me. Everyone wants to talk, see new content from me. It feels very
Big
different.
up, Ronnie.
You know what
How
I
are
mean?
you, bro?
Like,
Yeah.
The Mike Klum documentary was going to have a
Go
lot
ahead,
of the kind of
Josh.
toxic stuff. Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
Good.
Shit, no,
What's up? Well, I was
Not
going to ask,
much.
do you know? I have an answer for this.
All
but do
right.
you know what has changed?
So are you watching this?
So
Look,
Phil's
look,
already
look,
reading
look,
from
what
the
I'm
script.
I would say
Yep,
public perception
much.
just
Yeah.
because I don't know, because someone gave me a chance. And I think that's what it is. No one ever gave me a chance to be humanized. Instead, it was easy to beat up on Phil because he was the
He's
small
saying
content
nobody
creator
wants to
everyone
talk.
likes
Yeah, he
to
doesn't want
love.
to talk to
But now
anybody
that
because
he has
everybody has the
chance to
same
see me
questions
in a
about
different
WWE
environment rather than just
champions.
my own
Well,
stream,
that's
things have
what
changed.
that's the only thing people care about.
I think that
It
part
really
of it
is, yeah.
that a lot. I've watched a little bit of you and the Kino Casino, and a lot of what they're doing.
I mean,
is
it's like 90%
showing you
of
other
the questions
people,
I
and you're
have.
reacting, and in the same way that like detractors would, and it's very funny. It's very funny hearing you rip on
Exactly.
Ricada.
We've
and get,
all
like,
seen
the
how you
first
play video games, Phil.
impression
Nobody cares.
reaction
Exactly.
to the things that he's done, because it's like you don't know anything about him, but yet you're pretty close to the mark in regards to that. That's people are receptive.
Kinda
because,
shocked
you know,
that,
you're kind of taking shots at people, and they think that's really funny.
Mood is on here.
Yeah.
Is Muda on here?
Yeah.
Oh, is
and,
he in
you
the
know,
chat?
Thanks you guys, Kino Casino, for giving me that opportunity. Because again,
No,
the people who wanted to interview
Sean
me
Mood.
previously are like, "Oh, we'll have you on, but we're just gonna be
Not Muda.
taking shots at you constantly. Let's talk about your finances and shit."
Or
Oh,
Moon.
side
Do that,
scrollers,
you
right?
know?
That was
Yeah.
side scrollers. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I when they contacted me, it was supposed to be, oh, just be a guest on our show like anyone else. But then they turned it into this 3-ring circus interview that I have to be interrogated for 5-6 hours before I even qualify for the chance to be a real guest. And then they canceled the
Oh,
chance
we're
for me to be a
talking
real
about
guest after the interview. when
Side
they saw how much
scrollers
money they made.
again.
Already, bro. Yeah.
Right.
How
Okay.
much money they were making from what?
From that interview. Because that interview that
Oh.
they did with me was literally 100%.
Watch no snorting or
negative stuff.
anything either.
I thought if they're going to do an interview that's fair, right? You're going to have some positivity to it. Ask me about things over the years that are good. Ask me about my fan base, why people like me, you know, stuff
Sorry,
like
I had
that.
to let my
Instead, it was
dog
just
out.
like they just talked directly
'Cause
to
you were
my
supposed to do part
detractors,
2 and you
had
got all
every
butthurt
negative
the next
question
day,
lined
Phil.
up. Boom, boom, boom,
Oh, you're
boom,
good.
boom.
He
And then
really
the day
did,
after
yeah.
the show, when they said they were going to be doing a decompression session, where they're just going to play like Mario Kart or something, it was a shooting gallery against me, and I wasn't there to defend myself. It was them talking to my detractors the entire stream, receiving donations and contributions to make fun of me. They were literally
they didn't
laughing
make
with
fun of
negative
you.
memes about me and
Yeah,
making
God forbid
bank.
they read the room.
And that's not what that interview was
Exactly.
supposed to be. You know, take a look at the difference between that interview and
They
the
just
appearance
talked
on
about how
Kino
the interview
Casino. I
went.
think you'll see night and day.
He thinks he was at a
how
shooting gallery
I
and he
was
wasn't there
mistreated a year
to
ago,
defend
and
himself.
how now things have changed because I was given a chance.
Yeah. Despite him
thoughts on
saying
that,
that it was
Josh?
like
Well,
complete
would you
fair
agree that
and
an
everything.
interview
It's like, what the fuck?
should be balanced to include sort of responses to criticisms and concerns and just like general
Yeah, he
prying?
was.
A lot
He
of-
was happy
you're right, a
about
lot of
it
your drama
up
is-
until he
is
found
pretty
out that they
personal,
continued
but,
to talk about him
I think
the
that
next day.
a lot of people, if they try to talk about you at all, that's what comes up. So would it be fair to say that an interviewer should ask questions
Oh.
about like the bankruptcy and stuff?
Of course, and we had talked about it before the interview, and he said he was going to bring up topics like that. And I said, yeah, we can absolutely talk about that stuff. What was not discussed is that the day after, they were going to change their schedule to literally do a dump on DSP stream for profits. Because when you do
Like
a
you have
fair
to
and
get,
balanced
like they had to get
interview,
permission
okay,
from you, Phil.
Right.
You might not even like the person you're interviewing.
But
You may
half
not
their
even
crew wasn't
believe
even
the
there
answers they've given.
during the interview.
But in order to have it be a fair and balanced interview, you cannot then immediately present a one-sided argument
Right.
after the interview is over. What's supposed
Well,
to
let's
happen
be
is the
honest. What
audience is
would
supposed to watch that
Bubs
interview
and
judge
the
for
other guy have to
themselves.
say in
Is
terms
it
of
believable?
input?
Is it not? Do I believe his
Honestly,
answers?
you
Do
got
I
a
not?
point there.
What they did is they literally did the interview, and the next piece of content they made was, we don't believe anything Phil said. Let's dump on him all day.
Those
immediately
two
the entire
just
audience
give,
says,
like,
oh, yeah,
their,
Phil's a scumbag. Phil's a piece of shit. That's great.
2
you know?
cents when it
And
comes to
Again,
all the
if they
lead
weren't
hosts,
receiving all those
which is
donos
Adam
from all
and
of my
Stuttering Craig.
detractors, they never
Yeah.
would have done that. In fact, if it might have gone the other way, and they probably would have spun it the other way positive. Whatever was good for them. That's how they handled
Well,
that.
we'll let Josh respond to that, and then we'll move on from the side scrollers thing because I think
Yeah.
at this
Duh.
point it's neither here nor there. It was over.
It's ever good for them.
Yeah.
That's right. It's their
Anything
show.
to that,
Phil.
Josh?
They're not thinking about your
on?
feelings, man.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not 100% familiar. I'm not sure if there was something that was said that you said after the interview between those two streams, or if that was just like they did stream A and then stream B. Because I vaguely remember that they were responding to something that you had said after that first stream. But when you are live streaming, you know, if people are giving you super chats and feeding you
Can't believe
information,
this is the guy that's
you know,
the
that's
owner
just
of
what the
Kiwi
conversation
Farms.
was going to be about, even
Right.
if you didn't intend for it to be that way. And it's not necessarily like a profit motive, more or less. It is just like that's
Half
what
the world hates him.
is there to engage with as a broadcaster.
I think an interesting
I have
place
no
to
idea
start
who this guy
would be to ask
is.
you, Josh. Generally, what your feeling has been on Phil's detractors and how
Yeah,
Phil's
I don't know who
detractors
Josh
have
Moon is.
interacted with you and the
I'm
Kiwi
new to the whole
Farms.
sector.
Yeah.
How have you felt about that, Josh? Like, what are your thoughts?
That's
on
Josh
that?
Moon. I didn't
Well,
know his name
definitely,
either,
I
but he's
think
basically the owner of
DSP
Kiwi Farms, which is essentially a site that people go to troll and dox people.
Behind
Oh, that makes
by
sense.
the time that the Kiwi Farms was kind of broadening out from
I'm
just
on there.
Christian, like the glory days of all those Street Fighter clips where Phil is like genuinely angry and like screaming about like the online lag and stuff. I think that stuff was already kind of in the past because even like Phil has like 6 years plus history before Quickie Forums was even a thing. So he had been around for a while, and by the time that the forum was up and running, I think Phil just got everyone
Quickie
gets
Farms
older
was
and
originally
dirty,
there for Chris
I
Chan.
know what
Now
it's
it's
like to
Kiwi
get older and
Farms
just
because
kind
it
of
covers
not be
everybody. It was
so rambunctious, but I think
An internet personality.
age
That
out of
makes
that
sense.
and
Honestly.
calm down. But he still carried this contingent of just like really difficult people. And when I say this, I have to be careful because if I try and lump the forum into this, people get angry at me. But there is like a genuinely unhinged contingent of people who hate Phil, and it's a complete enigma to me. And they try to justify it, and I just don't get it.
Well,
Surprised he
you don't
didn't
think
cam
that
up.
Phil
Everybody
should
knows what
die,
he looks
Josh?
like.
No, I don't.
Do you think that Phil should be allowed to make money online, Josh?
I do, and that's actually one of the first things that was a point of contention between me and certain people,
without
certain
begging.
elements. In
Yeah,
his,
why-
in his hate fandom,
Nobody has a
is
problem
that
with
they
him making
went
money.
after him
It's the begging that's
for,
the issue.
like his monetization schemes, and that was right when the Kiwi Farms was just starting to get deplatformed from payment processors, and it really angered me to see like, you're doing to this guy
Let me pause it
what
for a second.
is happening to me.
Okay.
You see how much money Duty makes?
Yeah.
Getting the views he gets, and he gets more than Phil. But Phil's been doing this for 16 some odd years.
Yeah.
It's his fault that he doesn't have money or supposedly doesn't have money. And if this is really a grift and it's fake and his begging is really just to continue to stack cash, I'd be shocked if it was real.
Right? But then DSP would hit you with, oh, well,
How
Tevin
embarrassing as a man to have to beg for a living.
It is. It's embarrassing, bro. It wouldn't be me. It couldn't be me. I'd rather just go without.
You were saying?
I forgot. All right, let's get back to it.
Yeah.
Oof.
And I wouldn't support it for myself, obviously, and I don't support it for him. And then they would counter that by saying, well, he's like pignatized his viewers and he's extracting money
Pignatized.
from them from lies. And it's like, well, if you give DSP money and he says, I need money, and you give the money to him,
Pignosis.
you don't really then get to decide, well, he should only spend it on XYZ. That's not how it works.
Yeah.
No.
That's not the problem.
Yeah, but if DSP says, oh, hey, I need money for a light bill, and then he spends it on a fight stick, that is a genuine issue. You lied for that money. Right?
Yeah, but I mean, once you get true, but at the same time, once you give somebody money, what they do with it, that's kind of out of your control. But I get it. He is lying.
Yeah, it's just scumbaggery.
I
is
think
what I'm trying
everybody
to
here
say.
is in agreement on that, right? Like, Phil's money is his money.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
absolutely.
for sure.
Do whatever
If
he
He's a
wants.
bottom
chooses
feeder,
to spend it
100%.
on WWE champions, if he chooses to spend it on Jin, or if he chooses to spend it on investment,
Weed
or
or fucking whatever the fuck.
it's not really our
burgers.
business.
Well,
right?
WWE
Like,
champion's a little different because he's
I
been
don't-
denying it the whole time.
Yeah, would
But-
you agree with that, Phil?
Yeah,
that if
and
people give
pleading
you
poor
money,
about
it's like
it.
yours to spend, and it's not really any other business after that?
The line of argument that DSP
His house is falling
is
apart.
disingenuous.
Yup.
All right, because I'm on a stream and I'll be like, well, if I don't raise money on this stream, I can't buy groceries later in the week and shit like that. Okay. Has that ever happened on my streams?
Yes.
Yes.
Or you'll
I've
lose your
said shit
house.
Like that, okay. I'm here to be honest with you guys.
Oh, what?
I'm fessing up to everything. And there's been times where, and this, I'm not talking about this week. I'm talking about in the past.
He lies so much he can't
And
keep his story
the
straight.
reason that stuff like
Right.
that happened is because I went through a really bad financial time. I was going through a bankruptcy. I couldn't pay for anything. This was over 4 years ago. And there were literally weeks where, like, if I didn't raise a certain amount via
You had
tips that
15
week,
max
I
credit
actually would
cards.
not
You've
have
made
been
over
able
$1
to
million.
pay a certain bill or actually do things
Nothing to
like
show
that,
for
get
it.
the groceries or whatever.
Right?
So, should I say that kind of shit on my streams?
No, you shouldn't.
Of course I can't. But human, and I was desperate, and I needed to say and do things in
my
order to
God.
raise the money I needed to get by. And the good news is
I'm
I'm not in
fallible,
that
I'm
position
human.
anymore, and in the last
But it's
4
okay
and a
for
half
you,
years,
but Duty's
I've
a
stopped
demon for
doing those
doing
kind
this.
of streams. You're not going to see me say, hey, we're doing $1,000 goal today, and if we hit it, some crazy thing's going to happen, but I really need this money. I don't do that
Yeah,
anymore. I
you did
canceled all those
for
events I used to
Jasper.
do. I don't even do like goal-based streams anymore. We're going to raise a certain amount of members.
was
and then I'll do a
$2,000.
marathon. I'll just do the marathon to have fun with my viewers. I don't have anything based on that stuff anymore.
Yeah.
But the problem is with my detractors, they're living in the past. To them, everything is black and white. So the fact that I did stuff like that,
You still
in the
have
past,
marathons,
but I
Phil,
changed for the
but they're
better,
just not
doesn't matter.
begathons.
I did it
'Cause that's
I'm
every
guilty of it
day.
forever. So to them, I'm still that guy sitting here every day saying, "Oh, please give me some
But
donations so I can
last
buy
month
groceries."
you said you couldn't
That's
buy
the issue I think
food.
they have with me, but it's not valid anymore. That's not the modern DSP.
But you
Pause
said
it for a
That
second.
then again wouldn't fuel the
I
content.
think Josh
you know what
has
I'm
said
saying?
something to the
he,
effect
he
of
literally said this last month that he couldn't afford to buy a video game and groceries in the same week.
He says that every day before his day off.
I know.
That the $150 he makes that day is the money he needs for his day off.
I know. And if he doesn't get it, then he has to eat lunch
Where
meat
did
sandwiches.
the 4,000 or 3,000 he made?
Yeah, where did that go? He made a grip of money
From
off
their
that.
original Kino
Our-
stream go.
Yeah.
Yep, exactly. Then
Oh, go ahead.
the next day he went back to begging like he didn't have that money. That's the problem people have.
Yeah, exactly. It's you give him $150 today, but tomorrow or the next day, that money never existed. Where does it all fucking go?
I've said this for like the year or two that I've been watching him. He should just be between the Nightbot that he has. He should just put a message in the corner and then not bring it up.
Yeah, like this is your tips donation link, whatever. Do it if you want to.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
I don't know.
Not remind people every 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah, and then get mad at people for pointing it out or ban them from your chat for saying, "Can you stop?" And I think that's a genuine problem
Mhm.
too. It's like, how are you gonna get at these people who are giving you money, and then
Oh yeah, he's a
it's stupid.
banaholic.
Yeah, it's biting the hand that feeds you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you ready to get back into it?
Exactly. He can't take any criticism.
No, you
Yep.
can't.
honestly, they're just jealous that you're able to make money online. Is that a fair assessment of what you said, Josh? And do you want to kind of respond
Nobody's
to what
jealous.
Phil was saying?
I've never
there as
given
well?
a shit.
Um,
It's just the
Yeah,
aspect
yeah,
of taking
I'll
advantage
ask
of the
that first,
mentally
'cause you brought it up.
deficient that I've had an issue with.
I have made the point that I think the most I think that, to be clear, there's a stratification
Mhm.
in terms of people who don't like you. There are people who just kind of like observe and who have good humor about it, but then there are people who I believe are like genuinely low intelligence, like mentally stunted people, and they are genuinely jealous. in a
Yeah,
way
like everybody on
that
your
you make
your
enough
site,
money
dude.
off of playing video games that they wish they could do, and I think that stirs on a lot of resentment from the absolute worst of your hate fandom. Would you agree with that there are people like that?
The thing is, I don't know these people, right? But I mean, you just have to observe. You observe patterns of behavior. I mean, this guy Duty, in the last 3 days, has made like over 20 videos about me.
Patterns
that
of
he
behavior.
monetized. And it's
Right, but he never
20
recognizes
videos
his
about
own
one
patterns
person
of
in 3
behavior
days.
until
That
it's
Something
question
is going
wasn't
on
about
there.
Duty.
That's not normal
Exactly.
behavior. That's a motivated behavior. Something is going on in that man's mind. Either he genuinely hates
He's so
me,
self-absorbed.
or there's something
It's
else
always
happening
about
there
him,
that
man.
you would make that
Always.
much negative content about someone in a short period of time. I don't know if these people really have issues.
The
in their
question
minds,
was
if they
about
just
people
have a
being
grudge.
jealous
Who
of
knows?
him being
Maybe
able
they
to play
just saw the
video
dollar
games for a
signs
living.
behind it.
Yep.
Oh wow, I can literally beat up on this guy so much, and now we're making so much money on it. But what's happening now slowly is the camera's turning back towards these people.
The way he does it, it just becomes work, and then it's not fun.
Our skeletons are rolling out of the
and
closet,
he's just giving the same
and things
regurgitated
are changing
answers.
for the better. But no, I agree with you. Normal people don't act like one of these detractors.
Oh yeah, it's a
They don't
script.
sit
He
there and
always
make
says it.
entire
You're not going to learn
existence
anything new that I
of
haven't already
their
said
being
before.
To hate on someone, to interject into
That's
someone's
some
life.
narcissistic
Not like, oh,
bullshit
they made
right
fun
there,
of me because I
dude.
did something stupid on stream today. No, it's like my wife is ugly and fat.
What happened to the
He's
questions
doing
he
this shit
had
behind the
for,
scenes. It's all personal
for
stuff.
Josh Moon
Yeah.
here?
It goes
And that's
beyond
the-
even just making fun of you, right? Like where it really starts to get bothersome from people is, for instance, we have the bank leaks.
No, it
where
doesn't.
They're hacking your bank account. And
He said that
and
didn't
we
happen,
have, like
though.
the situation with the Comcast guy and stuff like this.
I don't believe
Go ahead,
that.
Josh. Go ahead. Do you want to redirect?
Yeah,
to something else?
he's on the fence back and forth with
Yeah,
that.
I wanted to ask because I saw, when people heard that I was going to be talking to you, I got a lot of people who are either angry, some people were mildly amused, but then a lot of people were trying to like.
Holy
give me
shit, they only
information.
have 3,400
And one
people
thing
watching them.
I want your
Yeah.
opinion on this, like how you feel about this. Twitch had published in 2020
Isn't this the
a
same
If it was
amount
a
of...
dropped
showing
even with King Moon
the
here.
loyalist
Right?
fans of any streamer, and you were number one. Per
They had more the
subscriber or
first
per
time
tipper,
DSP was
you
on.
got like
They did,
$36, and like the average on Twitch is like 4 or 5. And I'm wondering how you feel about that. Like, is having such a high return per subscriber something that, like, just how do you feel about that?
Well, first of all, I heard that report, but I didn't hear it from Twitch. So another YouTuber, I guess, had like done a react to it or something. And of course, you got to question the validity of the data because I don't know what data they're going off of. Is it just super chats? Is it the paid subscriptions? Is it obviously that doesn't?
I don't know
factor
what
in other things
$5,000
outside
you're
of
speaking
tips
about.
and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And also, what year was
Despite
that? When you said it
admitting
was a
to it under
2020
oath
data,
and
or was
giving
the
an
report in
itemized
2020
receipt
and
of
reporting on a
the
previous year?
expenditures.
I'm
It's like,
just
oh,
curious.
okay.
It was either I think it was 2020 or 2021. I think it was data for that year.
Because likely, the
How do I
reason
live
that
off
that report was
$35
so
a month?
inflated is because I was
Exactly.
going through my bankruptcy, and that was the year when a lot of people knew that, and they came out and were actually like overly supportive. I got a lot of extra support that year because of that. I'm not saying that the report was inaccurate in any way, shape, or form, but I think.
Yeah, and then you banned half of them.
Here's the weird thing. You're right. I'm not a giant guy. I don't get 2,000, 3,000 viewers on a stream. I barely get 1,000 views on a video that I upload to my channel. Yeah, I'm still
Not
able
anymore.
to make a living doing what I'm doing, and I do pretty good for myself.
Yeah,
How is that
because
possible?
you
Because
beg.
I've been in the game for 16 years. Because I have notoriety for various different reasons. Some good, some very bad.
You
But my fan
In the
base has been
game.
along for this ride with me. They've seen the ups and downs. They like me as a person as well as a content.
You're
creator.
infamous,
They
Phil.
want me to succeed. When they see that everyone is against me, but I still persevere, they see it as an inspiration to them. And they've told me, I get stories all the time from my viewers. You inspire me because you don't give up with all
You're a
the hate and the
cockroach,
shit that
dude.
people
You're
throw
not
at you. You're still doing
persevering.
it every day. I would have quit years ago, but I'm not going to quit. I'm going to keep going. I'm the kind of guy that's motivated by adversity. So that's why these
The
people.
10-year
never
plan
knew
in
who I am.
2019
They're
had you
willing to
getting a
support me no matter
job, and
what.
then
Doesn't matter if I'm
COVID
streaming
stopped
on
all
Twitch,
that,
which I'm
according
not
to him.
anymore. Now I'm
Right.
on YouTube. It doesn't matter if I move to Kick or whatever. I have a core group of very supportive people who want to see me succeed.
Isn't
no
his,
matter
like,
where I
After
go,
he
no matter
asked
what
his
the
mother to
detractors say
pay
about me.
part of his taxes.
And
Right.
would you say that makes
Hold
you
on. Isn't
you
his
grateful?
expertise in, like, isn't it desk work? Like when he
Finances.
when he was at the helicopter company, he wasn't out there
Gotta-
manufacturing the parts, right? He was behind the desk. He was pushing papers.
Supposedly, whether it was customer service or it was audit or data entry, nobody knows exactly.
Yeah, but he was never doing the manual labor.
No, he wasn't turning wrenches. Look
Yeah.
at him.
Then how come he couldn't get an office job during COVID? When a lot of those were being turned into work from home.
Wow.
He has the setup
I-
for it.
He didn't try. That's true. He could have worked remotely.
I don't know about that one, Phil.
Are you like?
I heard that
Absolutely.
today.
I
It's
am
too
the
easy to beg.
luckiest
He
dude
couldn't-
on this
he
fucking
wouldn't make the
planet, in
same
my
money.
opinion. Like, dude,
Exactly.
I started on YouTube at a time when I was incredibly lucky to ever get seen. I blew up at the right time. I stayed.
Oh, here comes
for
the history
bad
lesson
reasons
again.
instead of good. And now here I am in 2024, and I'm finally, for the first time in 10 years, getting a turnaround. I am the luckiest fucking dude. I am so grateful to my core audience who kept me going for that crazy long time when it was just hate against
And
me.
it's all because
I
of Kino.
owe everything to them. My
Yep.
whole setup, half
Core
the stuff
audience.
I worked with people.
Half your
to
core
design,
audience is
or they
gone.
Donated
Yep.
it to me. You know,
He-
all this shit
he
is all
threw
help for
out
my audience.
his
I am the
main
product
audience.
of a community of people working
Paying
together
the shit
to
out of
make
him.
something awesome for each other, as opposed to I'm just the guy out here to put out content to print money. That's never what it's been about. I've even said if
1
I would've
Minute
come to,
Man,
overnight wealthy, what if I won the
OIC.
lotto? I would still stream.
Arkham.
I wouldn't stream as much as I do, but I would still stream because I love
But
it. I
he
love my
keeps
community. I'm
Darish
doing it for
around.
the love of it.
The
as
Snorlax
well as
King,
making a living. It's not
Lavinia,
just a job for me. And I think people
the
I-
Dutch
I-
brothers.
That computer that you got,
Cough, cough.
was that a viewer gift? The
Yes.
weird triangle computer? Yeah.
Yes, weird triangle computer. It looks like
yeah,
a
it's like a-
cube or a mini fridge or
The
something.
triangle.
I said it looks like a prop from a video game that you like pull out of the ground, like a sci-fi thing.
Looks more like
It
an
does.
aquarium.
Right?
Yeah, but no, that's again 100% donated. That was before I started doing much better for myself this month. By the way, that was before I appeared.
Bullshit.
And everything. And
Right.
again, now I'm a PC gamer.
It's donated
That's
by a
because of
firm thanks to
people
Amazon.
who like me and want to see me succeed. It's amazing, you know.
It really is, yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
It's a
I
gift
watched that
donated from
video
Jeff
of you
Bezos.
setting that up, and I don't know. It was pretty difficult for me because you were so frustrated, and I
Oh,
felt
yeah.
like
Oh yeah.
you were kind of angry that people like gave you the computer and said like, "Hey, set this up." You know what I mean?
No, I, when I get in a way,
And then
if I
cursing
get very,
it.
very frustrated over something. Usually that comes out when I play.
I
Street
can't
Fighter.
connect to the
If I
internet.
play
What's
Street
wrong with
Fighter
this
and it's
thing?
lagging,
Everything
so I
else
lose
is
to a
working.
fucking guy who I
Restart
know
the
I
cable
shouldn't.
modem,
I
Phil.
get so
No,
frustrated.
then the stream
But
will
in
go
that case,
down.
here's the thing: we've been
Right.
trying to do this for years to get me a gaming PC, get it set up, and of course,
2
out of the
hours
box, there's issues. It's like,
because of
geez,
how
of
obstinate
course I
and
can't just
stubborn
set this
he
thing up
is.
normally and have a nice stream for my viewers. It's got to be the
Right.
most frustrating fucking thing. But I get just like everyone. I get too emotional. I get heated, and I say dumb shit. The next day, which you
Yeah,
probably
and then you
don't
did a
know,
half. Everybody
on
was
my
giving me
podcast
a
first thing
different
next day, I actually felt really
suggestion.
bad about it after having calmed down overnight,
Right?
and everyone forgave me for it because they're like, "That's Phil when he's heated. We see him doing that when he's frustrated with Street Fighter. We understand it carried over." To
No,
that,
not
you know?
everyone
But
forgave
you're
you
right.
for it, Phil.
When I do things like that, because when
Oh,
I
shit.
realize after the
Sorry.
fact, oh shit, I fucked up. That's gonna make me a better person. That's the kind of stuff I don't mind being criticized on. But when you got detractor channels that are just completely
Yeah, 42 years old and still growing.
stuff that's not even close to
Right.
being true. That's where it's like really frustrating because I can't stop that.
Let
I
me
can
interrupt
change
you because this
myself.
was requested of me. There is something
Yeah.
called defamation. If you hurt
Mhm.
somebody's reputation, it's called defamation. If it's written, it's libel. If it's
Right.
spoken, it's slander. But both libel and slander are both forms of defamation. Someone begged me to correct you on this because it bothered them so
Ashton, you don't
much.
have to do fake claps, dude.
Well, that's because I'm saying
I know,
libel because I
them-
actually reacted to a
Both
video
of them are
yesterday on my
doing that
React show
stupid shit, dude.
where Cardi B sued that YouTuber who was a commentary YouTuber and just kept talking shit about her for years and years.
The
and Cardi
screaming
B
into
sued
a
her for
microphone, that's
libel
kind of like
in
an
court
oxymoron.
and won a $4 million ruling. So I think technically, if anything were ever to go to court, it would be for libel. But I don't know. I'm not a lawyer.
It would be for defamation.
whispering
unless
into
it's
a
written.
megaphone.
If someone writes a
If we
tweet
had-
about you that says something,
If
But if
only
it's
we had
spoken, it's
Lord
slander.
Baldo here to give us.
Oh my
We're splitting
guys,
hairs
do
about
you
the
mind if I ask
the
Josh a
technicalities of
question?
law
Go
here.
ahead.
One
ahead.
sec-
Yeah.
one
Go ahead.
second. 1 second. Volseer, thank you for the 20 subs and Tetrabacks for 10
Bro,
subs. Big
can-
Why don't we get Nick
Support,
Riccido,
let's get
the
some
Baldo
subs
champ,
for
on and have him talk
Josh
about
Phil
it?
being
Right.
here.
So far, hope you're enjoying this, everyone. All right,
What,
go
can
ahead.
we
Phil.
ask
Okay,
Josh
so Josh,
questions
to
now?
preface this, I want you to understand something. I know absolutely nothing about you. Okay, I really don't. I don't
But-
go outside.
Phil
of
is
my
loving
own
this.
realm of
Yeah,
existence.
but it
Oh,
doesn't
more
mean
me?
content
Yay.
to find out about.
Yeah, but what do you mean you don't know anything about him? You said you had pertinent questions about him and his site. So you have to have some kind of insight to who this person is.
Yeah, because he was talking about his family.
Yeah.
People who are involved in the
So he
drama
has
sphere
to.
around me. I try to stay out of it. I really, really do.
And
And
that's what irritates me. It's like,
obviously,
oh, I don't know who
He
we
said
know
the
you're
same thing
owner
about
and operator
Mudahar.
of Kino
Yeah.
Casion. I know from personal experience of people sending me over there saying, oh, do you know this is on there about you? This is on there about your family. This is on there. That's how I know of your website. What I like to do is have a civil conversation.
Oh,
with you now a little bit
Ashton's gifting when
about
people give money and,
where did
and
Kiwi Farms come
memberships.
from? Like, what was your original idea for the site?
Gifting them what?
Why did you set it up?
Clout.
And how did that all
Or
start?
clapping, I
Because
should say.
Obviously, I would
Oh,
think that
is
today,
that
Clapping.
a lot of the
what
stuff
it
that's on there
is?
is not what your
That's
original intention
corny
was,
as shit.
unless I'm mistaken. So I'd like to hear it straight from the
Yeah.
source. Why did you set up?
Why
Kiwi
don't they
Farms
have
originally?
pop-ups?
What was the idea?
Well,
You
you're
already
completely
explained
free
that.
to ask me any question that you'd like. As far
Oh,
as
no,
where
wait,
the
you
forum
explained
comes
that
from,
to me,
it
my
was
bad.
originally specifically dedicated to Christian Weston Chandler, and in 2014 we branched out to
About Phil, I didn't know that
this
about
broad
Kino. I thought
category
they
of
had
people that you would
pop-ups.
know as lolcows.
Yeah.
And I think even now it's even broader. It's basically anyone online who's kind of like a celebrity, communities online. As long as people want to talk about them, there's a space for it on the forum.
So you're saying that when it was, by the way, what year did you start the website originally?
Yeah, there's plenty of
Garish
space on Kiwi
professional
Farms. We know,
humor.
bro.
It was not started by me. It was originally a companion forum to a website called the Quickie, which was a wiki based off Encyclopedia Dramatica, specifically for Christian. The
Oh.
forum was a companion discussion forum for it.
I need
And in
to-
2013, I took over as administrator, and I've been administrator.
16
ever
years and Phil has
And
stolen
you
his little
do own
bubble.
and operate the site. You
Yeah.
own it. You have control of it.
since. I am the top dog.
Okay, very good. So when you branched off and made it its own thing, the idea was to have a
And he
place
doesn't have
for
to beg,
free
he
and
makes
open
ad revenue, Phil.
conversation about
Mhm.
Chris Chan particularly, but then you saw that there was actually a desire to have another place for other discussion of other people, and that's how it kind of extrapolated and expanded into what it is today.
Correct.
Sorry.
Okay.
My monitor turned
So
on.
I'm
if you heard
curious
Yeah,
that.
it's a
because
history
I think
lesson.
we've all heard stories, or we've even been affected. The guys from Kino Casino here, I'm sure, can also chime in. We all have been affected by things that have been put on that website. We've been doxxed. We've had information leaked. Stuff on there. And I guess
Why are you speaking for them, Phil?
Here,
Yeah.
At what
Because it
point
can never be just
did
about
you
him, bro.
see
It
that
has to
perhaps
include
people
everybody else.
We-
were not
Yeah.
doing things in the best judgment? Now, I know there's two different discussions. There's a legal
Like
realm,
he's the official
and there's a
third
morality realm,
host
right?
of
There's the letter
Kino
of the law
Casino.
and the spirit
Yeah.
of the law and all of that.
But Phil, then that begs the question: if Josh is responsible for the things that go on the site that he isn't privy to, then are you responsible for the audience that you cultivate and the actions that they take that you aren't privy to? Where is the line drawn at this point? If he's responsible for things that go on out of his control, go ahead.
Both of them, it's a gray line.
Yeah, I would say.
Gray area.
Yeah,
And we
They
can
each
talk
run
about
their
that.
own site
But-
or stream, and then there's members on there, and they do their own thing, and they can't be responsible for what they do.
exactly. Neither of them are responsible, but DSP is trying to hold Josh here responsible for the actions of his.
They all profit off of
website.
it.
Yeah, when they're all profiting off of the misery of him. Well, and like other subsequent locales like Cyrus and
Phil
Call,
will do a sneak call to action, and then play ignorance.
yeah, it's like, but is he making like this defense of people? Is he making it just in defense of himself, or is he making it in defense of people like King Cobra, who has those issues, who doesn't necessarily know what's going on? Because everything DSP does always seems self-centered and centric to himself.
I think Oh, 100%. It's all about him. Even if he has somebody pretending to be him striking people.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I know.
The stuff that's been put on your website
The pup.
has
wants
been
to have his
very
cake and eat
harmful
it
to many
too.
different
Yep.
people. I think we can agree there. Now, from what I'm to understand, you are against that, correct? You don't want people putting harmful information on that site?
I that's a very
That's
broad
his whole
question,
site.
and
That's
I'm not
true.
answering this in a legal sense. I'm trying to
Yeah.
be very specific about what I'm
You
saying.
can't speak on that.
If, in general, if harm comes from information, for instance,
Incriminating
there was somebody
himself.
who
I
had
think
a
that's what
thread
DSP's
who
trying to do
worked at a
here.
Walmart
Trying
and
to
who
get him
posted
to
pictures
agree.
of themselves online, I'll just say behaving inappropriately at
Not
their
intentionally.
job at Walmart. These pictures made it onto the
He's
forum.
too stupid for that.
And he was
Right.
literally walked into the boss's office in Walmart, and they showed him his Kiwi Farms thread and these pictures he had posted online, and he was fired. So that is ostensibly harm that arose because of information on the forum. Like,
Well, at a job, there's something
can
called
you
a breach
really
of
say,
trust
well,
when
that
you
shouldn't have
sign.
happened? That that's
Yep.
or even that's a consequence of the Kiwi Farms, or is that a consequence of his own
And
actions?
the job can take action if you post something online if you're doing it in uniform. So if you work at McDonald's and you do something perverse in a McDonald's uniform and they find out about it, you're fired. I don't know why this would be an issue.
Well, that's a gray area. It depends on how the contracts are written up.
Yeah, okay.
If harm comes from information,
Most likely,
almost always
what he
was
does in a
inevitable
McDonald's
regardless if it was on
uniform
the forum or if it was
outside
on
of
Twitter or whatever
work doesn't make
Now,
McDonald's
that's
responsible.
one thing, and I am
True.
perfectly okay with that. If harm comes about as a result of as a natural consequence of something that has already happened, not caused or instigated by users on the forum, there are no quandaries about that in regards to the law or to morality. Now, as far as people on the forum instigating harm, causing harm, I don't like that.
So
Okay. So here's a question.
So
How
what Josh
do you
is
determine-
basically saying,
Half the time, all the information that is doxed is typically public anyway.
yeah, that's what I was about to say. He's saying that everything on there, yes, might be used in nefarious ways, but it's all publicly available information.
For the most part.
Okay, I just want to make
And
sure
on
I'm
your forums,
page
what's
here.
being posted up is too far or is acceptable? Do you have like a moderation team who actually takes care of that? Do you ever
Right.
review cases? Is there a rule set that everyone has to abide by? Because I'll be honest, I've checked out my section of your forums, and I see threads like, "Oh, Phil's playing WWE."
Obviously,
Champion
there's
again."
forum
Who
rules,
gives a shit?
retard.
I
You
let
used to
him
run
race to
one.
the fucking end of the world about that.
Oh yeah,
But then
didn't
I'll see
he
a thread
dox
like,
people
"Oh,
on that
here's
forum?
actual
The King of Hate
information
forums?
about like a distant family member of
get their
Phil's
docs
who
or
has
some shit like
absolutely no
that?
association with him whatsoever." And here's the docs.
Nah, that I
And
don't
it's
know
like,
about. I
what?
never
Like, what would
officially
that
went
be there
on
for?
his
What the hell does that
DSP
have to do with
forum.
anything? So,
Neither
is
did
there
I,
an
so
actual
I won't
criteria and a
speak on
moderation
that, and I'll withdraw my
methodology you have? Like,
Just a whole
how
bunch
do
of
you
shit
make sure
talking.
that what's on your
Right.
site is acceptable or not?
Generally speaking, any public
Yeah, everything we
information
say
can be posted.
is
One thing that
alleged.
we would not
Yeah,
permit
subject to
And
our
hearsay.
own
is somebody
opinion,
to post
exactly.
public information and then even imply, like, I hope he gets what he deserves. I hope it would be funny. It would be so funny if pizza showed up to his house.
Open
like,
for
anything that
speculation.
sort of implies or directly instigates any kind of action is not acceptable. But as far as like, Facebook accounts and stuff, as long as it's relevant to the topic, there is very little that will be done. Almost always. The actions that are taken are almost the exception to the rule.
And who would take the action? Do you have mods in place for each forum that are specific to the forum? Is there a
Yes.
general rule set that they
There's
have to
three
follow?
tiers. There's board level moderators, and that's what I prefer now. If I make global moderators, I realize that they burn out much quicker. So usually I give a mod one or two areas of the site that's like their home, and they're very active there. There's a couple global mods who are.
Well, yeah, you can't have somebody modding the entire.
In one case, since before I've ran
Right.
the forum.
Just
and
unilateral
there's me.
control of
And
everything.
I am a very
That's
active user on the
That'd be
forum.
region
and I'm very
specific.
active in moderation day to day.
And are your moderators kind of able to just judge for themselves what goes and what doesn't? 'Cause
One
I've heard
moderator to
rumors,
rule
not
them
rumors,
all.
But I've heard stories that like the moderators in my forum.
Oh, dude,
weren't
did
doing a
you
good
see
job,
the
and you
new
shit-canned a bunch of them
War of the
because they literally
Rohirrim,
were not
the
doing their job
movie
per
that's
your
coming
standard,
out?
and that's why a lot of the information that was there that was, I guess, deemed harmful was allowed for a while.
No.
Is that
Oh.
true?
Well, the new
So
Lord
you're
of the
referencing
Rings
something I
movie's
don't
coming
remember how
out.
long ago this was. It was either a couple months ago or last year. I went into
nice.
the board and I was upset about something, and if I
Yeah.
can remember, I'll tell you what it was. But I was doing this happens every couple of years. I'm not like your board is one of the least frequent boards I go to, and generally what happens is I walk in and I have a reason to. Something's happened and it requires my attention.
Burn.
And I just start yelling at people, and this is one of the most difficult areas to deal with because people get very defensive and it becomes a big deal. And in this case, it was a pretty large ordeal. Like 20 people quit the site. I demodded one of the mods because he actually ran one of your detractor channels, and and it was monetized.
I'm
and
surprised
I thought, you know,
PPP
that's a
is able to hold
conflict
his
of
mouth
interest.
this long.
I don't want
Right?
like
Me
you to
too.
have a
Oh God, what was
monetized
that?
channel and
Sounds like somebody's
also be a
constipated
moderator.
over
That's
there.
kind of that's never been a thing that we've had before on the site, and I didn't even know about it.
He's just
And then
nodding.
the other mod for the board walked out because he was upset, and they tried to form their own like splinter site to the Kiwi Farms, and it hasn't really had any traction to it. So
Did you hear a
I
chair
wish I could
squeak?
remember what it was.
I think so. Yeah.
Someone tagged you after the cat stream. So that somebody says. I forget. Something happened. There was a stream with cat on it, and it caused a problem. And I remember that I made fun of people, and then it snowballed into a bunch of people leaving. I genuinely, it's one of the areas of the site I don't have good repertoire with my own users in. They don't like.
I'll never get over the fact that. What the fuck? Oh, my dog wants in. Hold up.
Like me there. They make it very well known, and
No
it's difficult to get anything done with them.
Boy.
But right now
Well-
it's a guy. It's sorry, just to close this out.
Yeah.
There's one guy. Sorry, now I feel bad. I don't remember his name right now off the top of my head, but he's from another area of the site, and I trust him, and he's doing a pretty good job as a moderator. And he's only a moderator of that board.
Okay. So following up on what you just said, so you
Do
have
you
a
pay
section
them?
of the site. There's a moderator that's a known
Yeah,
detractor of mine.
It's
You,
curious.
you agree that that section of the site
Because Phil doesn't.
isn't up to your standards, right?
Mhm.
Why would you keep that section of the site open? Why is it not? Well, if it's not up to standards of the site, things are going bad. Look, it's actually bad intentions.
Money.
The guy who's in charge is actually a hater of Phil. He's making money on this. Why would you not just say, all right, enough. You guys
because
need to
it's
behave.
censorship.
You know, you had fun, but this is why we can't have good things.
Every
right?
content
And you
creator
take it
has
away from them,
haters,
so that way they have to move
Exactly.
on.
trolls.
Why leave that section of the site open when you know that there's malicious intent? And this is not me accusing you of anything. I just want an honest answer. I'm curious of your methodology.
I got you. Don't worry. I would like to answer that question with a question. In your mind, let's just say that I went to the admin panel and I could do this, and I deleted
Sorry.
the dark
Oh, you're
folder.
roboting a little bit.
You're breaking up a bit, Josh.
Sorry to interrupt. Yeah,
Why don't
you're-
you start that
Am I
statement?
breaking up?
yeah, it's
You're
like,
good
Am I
now,
breaking
I
up?
think. You're good
Uh,
now. You're good now.
Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
Okay, if I break up, then just let me know. Okay, answer a question with a question, the least interesting thing.
Yeah.
But in your mind, if I went to the admin panel right now and I deleted the DarksydePhil board, which I'm completely able to do, what do you think happens? Can you give me like a T plus 10
What?
seconds, 60 seconds, 1 day? Like what happens? There's hundreds of users on that section of the site. So what
Be
happens
willing to
in
do
your
that?
mind? How do you imagine that playing out?
Well, first off, I just want to let you know that's not what I'm asking for. I don't want you to think that that's what I want
Okay.
you to do today.
What?
Okay, that's
No,
not
no,
my
no.
intention.
Well,
at
you
all.
asked me.
Oh,
just
you asked me,
shocking.
why didn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah, just,
hypothetical.
I would like
Well-
to know what you think happens as a result.
Well, first of all, I was on there the other day, and I'll admit to you, I checked it out because I knew we were going to have this conversation.
They'll
I
find
wanted see
somewhere
what
else
kind
to
of
talk
stuff was
about,
on
yeah.
there. At this
Exactly.
point, I really don't see too much harmful stuff on there. It's just a bunch of people doing their usual bullshit. You know what I mean? They're talking about WWE champions. They're talking about they don't like my streams. They don't like I make money. Kino Casino is gaslighting him because they're glazing him, but they're gonna turn on him, and it's the bullshit. It's stupid. Shit.
Any minute
don't really-
now.
Yeah.
I know. Oh no,
Any
guys!
day.
Any minute.
Well, the
I-
majority
I-
must be
there's
right
an
if
ad
everybody's
coming on
saying that,
stream.
Phil.
Oh wait a minute, Keemstar's on my podcast on Wednesday. So what are you talking about, right? Like, the stuff they say is ridiculous. Anyway, I think if you were to shut it down right now, what would
That
happen?
doesn't
is those
equate
people
to
would be
success, Phil.
angry, They would
It
scramble,
really doesn't.
and then eventually, what they would try to do is find another way to go discuss me in that same manner.
You're
It
not
would take
paying
them a
Keem,
while to
so-
find it, probably organize and find stuff. They'd probably scramble to Discords and they'd go other places. But the thing that I kind of want to talk about
Exactly.
here is what's happened with Kiwi Farms, particularly. I don't
What?
know
Bro.
if it's other people.
Was that raw Phil or is that?
No. Fuck.
Probably.
Anything that they feel will be the most hurtful to me.
Sorry.
Oh, no, it's them.
We dropped for 1 second. We're back
Oh
up.
crap.
Yeah, sorry. Sorry. It just died for like for a millisecond.
Okay.
We're back. We're
Uh-oh.
back. Hey,
All right, go
everyone.
ahead,
Cast
Phil,
is in the
finish your
building.
answer and then
Wait,
we'll
hang on,
go.
hang on.
Professionals
Everyone,
without
please
fiber
write
internet. Come on,
to
guys.
refresh or whatever.
Oh man.
Everyone write refresh.
Bro,
Sorry,
my
guys, sorry.
my rinky
I'm
dink
not-
fucking operation
Okay.
here runs on
What I was saying
gigabit
was,
internet.
I think that if Josh were to close down my part of the forums on Kiwi Farms right now, those
They
people
should-
who were there
Yeah.
would scramble and try to find another place where they could do exactly the same thing, whether it's a Discord server or eventually they find another site to do it. Undoubtedly, they're going to keep trying to do what they're doing, right? So
Right.
closing that
Is
part
it
of the
necessary
forum,
for
I don't
all
think
of them to
would
wear the
solve any
gaudy
kind of
headphones? I mean, they can't
thing.
get
But for me, when I see
earpieces.
people really want
Right.
to harm me, right? They want to drop
Look
something
at King
that they know
Sly.
is like personal
They're
information
professional.
no one would have. They're committing a crime in order to hurt me or my business or my family. Kiwi Farms is where they go to post it because they see that as the ultimate safe space.
Well, I'll give
No
Kiwi
one's gonna
Farms
ever go
props.
after
They're
them.
both
No one's gonna
rocking
reveal their
$500
information because they
Shure
posted it. Like, if
microphones.
they post it on YouTube,
Right.
something might happen. If they post it on Twitter, something might happen. But if they post it on Kiwi Farms, we know that this is the ultimate neutral place and we're safe.
Phil's
And
is
that's
more
my
like
concern,
Audio
is that has
Technica,
happened
which is
to
I
me
think around
time
$300,
and
but he's had the
time
same one for
again in the
years,
last
and it
5,
used to
6
cut
years.
out on him every
Whenever
once in a
someone that
while.
does something heinous,
He
we're not
probably
even
got
talking
mad
the realm
and
of
threw it,
legality.
and then it
We're talking
started
the realm of
working
bad
again.
morality, right? This disingenuous shit. You're
Right.
leaking information no one should have.
Probably.
And you're
Let me
putting it on
address
site.
both parts
Josh
of this.
address that.
There's
Okay.
two parts to it. The first is you're absolutely correct, and I'm very happy that we could meet, our minds could meet on this point. The number one reason why I have never even thought, well, I have thought about it, but I've never gotten close to deleting the board, is that as you mentioned, there are people of, as you said, bad morality who I keep out of the forum. And also, as you mentioned, the Kiwi Farms is the go-to place to talk about Phil and post things about Phil. So if I deleted the board, and I'm not saying this about any particular mod, so hopefully the two X mods listening don't get too pissy, but
They will.
if they started their own
Yeah.
site and they were left to their own devices, it would be much more, it would be different, and there would be different rules, especially considering that it's just the DarksydePhil forum. There are a lot of people who hate me and who look for reasons to try and take down the site, and they look at every place on the forum. So everything has to be in order. There can be nothing that is illegal. There can be nothing that instigates harassment, etc. But if it's just the DarksydePhil forum, and it's just about DarksydePhil, they can get away with a lot more.
That's the
because
whole nature of the
there's
site.
there's no
Unintentionally, I suppose.
accountability there. That's just you
Yeah,
and what you can
it
muster.
seems that way.
And what you can muster by yourself is a lot less than what everybody can muster. So in part, yes, not only would they go to a different place, and in Discord's like the worst of the worst. You can do anything you want in Discord. You have,
I
people
believe
sharing
that's
child
where
pornography on
Low
Discord.
Tier God saw
Discord
the photos of
has
his
no rules, as long
car's
as you don't
license
get
plate.
caught. And the
Oh,
same
yeah,
kind
in
of
his
applies to
Discord?
public forums,
I
especially if
think
they're
that
invite
is-
only.
He got
So
so
one
scared.
of the big reasons why I've
he
never
was
deleted the
talking
board
about
is because I
using
know
guns.
that immediately people would seize that, they would capitalize on it, and they would make a place that would just become the Kiwi
Well,
Farms
there's no reason
DSP
for people
forum. It
to
would be
go
worse.
IRL about it, but
Not-
some
and I
people
don't
have
wanna
nothing
try
better to
and
do.
sound like I'm saying I'm
Bro,
doing you a favor,
You
but
ain't wrong.
I am
I don't
a
condone
moderating
it at all.
influence, and I set a baseline that has to be followed. And I think that in a roundabout way, I probably do a favor. As far as people going to the forum to post stuff, of course, because it's the largest place,
Doo-doo.
with the most visibility, and it doesn't come down.
Doo-doo.
But there would be another board specifically for DSP that is worse, that would offer the same kind of
Can
safe
you not
space,
hear it,
as you
bro?
said.
What do you think about that, Phil? Do you think it would be worse for you, as Josh
Oh,
is
in the-
saying,
in
if
the
he was to
chat.
delete the
Yeah, I
board
know,
because
it's
he is a
pretty
moderating
dead.
influence?
Everybody's
Let me
listening.
put it this way.
Yeah.
I feel the real problem
Yeah.
right now is that Kiwi Farms has too much notoriety. All right. Kiwi Farms is known as the place on the internet that you can go and lolcows are being harassed, and you're going to get all kinds of dirt on everyone if you go to Kiwi Farms. That's how people see the site. Josh,
Oh, you
I
think
don't
so,
know if people
Phil?
Understand that, but
maybe
that's
he
actually
doesn't
the
know
public
that, the
mentality
owner.
towards your website.
Of course.
Is that,
I
that's the
understand
dirt
that.
site. You know what I mean?
It's DSP.
if
You
Kiwi
can't-
Farms-
only
out a
he
little bit on
noticed
this,
things.
Phil.
Mhm.
Josh, you've said that sometimes the forum has gotten too big to the point where it's an eye of Sauron, and sometimes it destroys lolcows and destroys content. Do you feel that way about Phil?
No, Phil
And
Phil's
people's lives.
broader is not just the forum. When I say that, I mean like, for instance, with Bossman,
Gotta
Bossman
commend him
Jack had less than 100 viewers
by
when I
his,
started talking about him, and he got a
his-
thread on the forum.
his site.
And now he's got multiple
can't
hundreds,
talk.
thousands of people who watch them, and it necessarily, kind of like with, not to sound too nerdy, but like microparticles. It's like you observe a microparticle and it changes because you observe it. Same thing with Boss Man. You put this attention on them, and of course it changes. And this happens with everybody. The small fries, if they get a thread and it's
He's a professional
small,
gambler.
little thread, but if attention
Yeah.
gets brought onto
He
it,
acts
it
like
changes
he's
who they are,
Cyrex.
necessarily just because they have that much attention.
Good answer. Back to you, Phil. What do you think?
Yeah. Okay,
He's
so,
actually- he's
so
what?
the point I'm making is
He acts like
because
he's,
Kiwi Farms is so no.
He acts like he's so notorious that the Kiwi Farms is destroying his life like Cyrex. When he's still living in a gated community with a paid-off car.
No, I believe crack and his gambling addiction and his enabling parents.
Crack. Is that why Panda Lee
I don't
was
know
there?
why they tolerate him.
Right?
Notable. Everyone knows about Kiwi Farms. If you want to hate on someone, go to Kiwi Farms and get all the dirt on them, right? If you were to shut down a thread about me right now, those people absolutely would scramble and go somewhere else. That other site they go to would never have the level of notoriety of Kiwi
Lord.
Farms. Sure, the worst of the worst would still find it, but you wouldn't have the common person searching to hate on someone going to that site. You know what I'm saying? It might take them a while, and
I
maybe
actually
eventually they
disagree.
would. Okay, well let me finish my statement. I
Okay.
definitely want to hear what you have
Sure.
to counter. It might take time, and maybe that new detractor forum would grow to the notoriety size of Kiwi Farms. Very well, it could, but it would still take time. You understand? That would actually be a time where like people on your forum, because this isn't just about me. This is about everyone who has a thread on your forum who's had the same level of harassment as me. They would have a breath of fresh air. My God, you're telling me that for a few months, a year maybe, I can have a break from this where I know people won't have a central place to just post up all kinds of heinous shit about me. Yeah, it might come back, and then you deal with that devil when it attacks you, right? But to just have a breath of fresh air, wow, I know for a day no one's going to be posting up personal shit about me and my family and other shit on a site that everyone knows about. That would be a big relief, at least for someone like me, okay? I get what you're saying. It wouldn't end it, but at least it would be a temporary reprieve.
Yeah.
Then
and
why
I
are you
think
asking him
that
to
sentiment
not
would
take
Yeah.
it
apply
down?
better to
I was just
everyone
about to say
except
that
you specifically,
because it sounds like he's asking him legitimately to pull it down, even if just for a few days, so he can have a reprieve from it. And then when that devil comes back, then he'll deal with it then.
It would be nice if people will stop doxing me and talking shit online, but that's okay.
Right? I'm not asking for you to take it down, but I'm just saying it would be nice. Right? It's the double speak.
I'll do my
Yeah,
T plus
so
0.
if it's okay with
T
you,
plus
it's your
60 minutes.
side.
Yeah, do
Kiwi
whatever
Farms
you
is
want.
down. Message goes up. Sorry, I feel really bad about what I've done. It's gone. There would be DarksydePhil.exposed up immediately. And then they would start networking, would be on Twitter. And then someone types in DarksydePhil in Google. The Kiwi Farms has limiters
We
in
don't
its reach.
need Kiwi Farms when Pig
there are
Pig
people
Go
in Google
exists.
who I know who hate me. And they have made it so that finding information on the forum through Google is actually difficult.
I can confirm that because I've tried
Yeah.
to search
Considering
for
Phil
things about
doxed
myself.
himself.
It does not show up at Google at all anymore. It's gone. It's like wiped from
It's
there.
gone. But
And
DSP
I gotta
or
say,
Darkside
You're a dumbass for putting your address and shit out there, but I don't agree with people going after your wife at work. You know, I don't agree with people going outside your house, going up to the gate, taking pictures of it and all that shit. You know, that is wrong. You have a point there. People shouldn't be doing that. But you can't broad label everybody, right? And say this is all of you guys when it isn't. It's wrong.
Phil.exposed.
Exactly.
Well, your name's right in the URL. You type in that, and it's a big forum. It has enough threads. People are linking to it from external sites like Twitter or X and all the detractor channels. And then, of course, it would be ran by somebody who might have their own detractor channel, and they would say, well, they would network with all the other detractors, and they would get little fancy badges that says, official YouTuber or whatever. And that site would not only be would have fewer checks and balances and would have less accountability. It would also have greater reach in search engines, and it would also have better network. Because like I said, the detractors don't like me. A lot of the channels don't like me. They would like this.
It's funny listening to Josh explain the devil you do and the devil you don't when DSP uses that example all the time.
Guy. They would like to network with him and get fancy badges and stuff on the site and promote it. So, with you specifically, you don't get a break.
DSP
Sorry.
doesn't do anything original other than snorting and begging.
So you're saying you think that other people on the site would get a break, that they don't have as bad of a detractor community as I do, and they would actually.
I mean,
have
almost
that
everyone
review?
except you would get a good deal from the site going down, at least for a while.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Because I don't really look at the other people on the site. That's,
Yeah, we're too dedicated to trolling you, Phil.
What is it, Josh, about Phil and about the detractors that make them so much different than everybody else? Because, like, we've just been interacting with Phil a little bit, like, did a game stream with him, did an interview, did some React stuff, and, like, the reaction is, like, you need to fucking die for
No.
Phil. Like,
You guys have been
it's crazy.
openly
What is it,
antagonizing
Josh? Like,
people.
what is it that makes it like this?
I don't know, and I feel like
Poking the hornet's
you
nest.
know, they try
Yeah,
to justify
They're
it.
poking at
And
us.
for instance,
at
this is one thing that
people,
was brought up
excuse
to me, and I'd like
and
to
then
hear
they're
your
like,
perspective.
but we didn't do anything.
Do you know a guy
they're
named
poking us in the side
Darish
still.
or Derek?
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Come
He's,
on.
Let's get
he's
to
like
this.
Come
He's like a supporter, moderator, and like thumbnail maker for your stream, right?
Wrong on all three counts. He's not a supporter. He's not a moderator, and he's never made a thumbnail.
Moderator?
All wrong. All detractor
on.
bullshit.
He has made
He's just a viewer.
thumbnails for
And
me.
he made
Bullshit. He's
Shoemaker
done
for me once.
tier.
Okay,
He
tier
did tier
maker.
lists, yeah.
Okay.
Now, Josh, do you
Bliss.
have like receipts on that, or is this what you've heard? Or
He
is
might
this
not be
what's in
giving
his
you
thread,
cash,
or
Phil,
what?
but he engages
Well,
and he
his
gives
response
free content
is,
to you.
There's definitely a relationship, or when I say relationship, I mean there's definitely like a connection. But his
Right.
response is actually it falls through a crack. I don't know how to respond to that because the guy is definitely like a fucking weirdo.
Yeah.
And he definitely has like
Yeah.
playlists of like little girls and stuff on his YouTube. Like that's archived independently of the
Just
forum.
like Phil.
But
Yeah.
What do you think? of
I
that,
think
Phil?
I think I remember seeing like his badge in chat though that he had a supporter like a
Phil,
mod
look at
sword or
Phil's
something.
stone cold
No,
response
you're
to that.
seeing someone
He
get a
clearly
membership.
knows
That's what
that
you're seeing. It's just a gift of
Derek
membership.
is a bit of a PDF file.
That's just he has
Yeah.
no power whatsoever on my streams whatsoever.
But he's allowed in your streams, though.
Yes, he is.
Why?
But
Yeah, he just has major
playlists
influence,
of
Phil.
Little kids on his YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Okay. Shall we publicly address this formally? This is
Let's
good.
let's
we can finally
address
do
this.
Let's talk about
Yes.
this.
Tutorial, like,
Sure.
why
Yeah,
is
all
he
right.
allowed to
Yes.
be a member of your community when he's such a creep?
That's the one thing that's really fucked. Yeah.
Time for the buddy trolls to pull the rug, Phil.
You guys can completely disagree as streamers yourselves, and everyone out there watching, you may also disagree as well. All right, but allow me to lay down my.
Oh, I'm glad you
my
give them
methodology.
permission to have their own opinion, Phil.
I'm a content creator. Every day I put on
He's
a stream.
gonna say he's not
I'm trying to entertain an
responsible.
audience. I'm trying to make a living. I got to chat. People come in. People come out. I see.
Well, of
people
course
from all
not.
walks of life,
But he is
from
responsible
here,
for
there,
who's in
everywhere
his
who attend
chat.
My streams, and
Yep.
I don't basically don't judge anyone for anything but what's going on in my stream. Okay, if I see someone in this stream
What,
doing something
bro?
disgusting, having awful things said, or there's they're breaking
Dude.
the rules, they're out of it. I have rules laid out. Actually, my stream I think is a little bit more relaxed than others. 'cause
So
I
you're
used to be
saying
known as,
he
like,
can
the
be a
moderator and heavy
pedophile
guy,
just
and
as
now I
long as
almost
it's
don't
not
have
on
any
your
moderators
stream.
anymore. I kinda
Murderers,
handle it all myself.
rapists.
But anyway, my philosophy is what goes on in my
Yeah.
stream is the extent of my responsibility as a streamer to take care of. Now,
even
anyone
if you
out there who
clearly
makes
know
content,
about them and what
do
their
you
nature is,
personally
as long as
know
they don't
every
do any
single
of that on
person
my
who's your
stream.
Do you know what their life is like
But
behind
he
the
has
scenes?
done
Do you
it
know
on
what
your
kind of stuff
stream.
that they're
He's
into?
posted
What,
like
their
links and
kinks, their
shit.
bullshit, what they post on their social media. Of course not. How on holy hell would any
Oh
of
yeah,
us
triple
ever
X
know
links. Yep.
what all of our viewers are doing? Nor is it in our realm of responsibility to have to actually look into that. You understand?
I'm
These
too
people are just
busy.
here
I
to
already
watch
worked
me.
myself
That's
to
all
the
I
bone.
care about.
May I just okay? So I understand what you're saying. You don't know everyone's
Your
backstory.
more
and
trusting
so everyone
chatters
makes
look into
sense.
that, Phil, and they tell
But
you
we
about it.
have verifiable evidence that Derek is a pedophile. He has playlists of kids, and it's really weird fucking shit. And this is the one thing Ashton and I are like, what the fuck is...
What the
You know,
fuck
I
is
get
this
what you're
shit?
saying.
And
I get what you're
Josh
saying.
looked into it yesterday. Let's
And
let's
you
have,
are
Josh,
now
what do you
associating
think about
yourself
what Phil
with
just
him,
said?
guys.
Yeah.
It's not just
Think
this.
of it.
Like I mean, knowing about it, like when you find out, like you have to you have to do something about that. And from what I understand, the big point of contention is not just that
They should have called Phil out about this stuff before
other
they started
people,
associating with him,
who are in
telling their
community,
audience
who are
to
in
go
your
and give
chats,
him
have pointed out
money.
that this guy
Right.
is who he is, and he seems to be getting a layer of protection.
Yeah.
That people are able to observe. He seems to get away, according to
He's got a circle of
the people that
protection.
watch, he gets away with a lot more than other people would. Just in, it's suspicious to them. I don't know,
spamming
I've not
in the
seen this,
chat.
but that's what they
So
say.
you don't even know what they're saying. You just think that somehow he's getting some kind of
my God.
protections
But
in my
he
stream. Is what you're saying.
is.
Yeah, either from people in the
Where is he
chat
getting
calling
that
it
from
out,
if he
or
doesn't know
just
what they're
in regards
saying?
to
Where would he
his
get that from?
behavior.
Has he got
Apparently
ESP or
spams
something?
a lot, and he gets a pass with that, and people suspect that there is some kind of association there where he gets a pass. Like,
Yeah,
for instance, with the thumbnails, because they say
outside.
that he has like a monthly vacation, and during that vacation, the style of your thumbnails changes, and that is how they come to the conclusion that the thumbnails are being made by him, because they don't get made by
Totally
him when
wrong.
he's gone.
He's literally never.
Yep, here
made
comes
anything
the
like that
ever
for me
so
whatsoever. Like I
often
said, the
shaking
only
of the
thing he's ever
head.
Made is 2 tier makers, I believe. Over the
Phil's
last 2 years.
towels.
So he
That's
has
it.
made stuff though.
Yeah, he's
Yeah, 2 tier
contributing to your
makers, and one that I
content.
used on a stream and one I did not.
But
Yeah.
brother Phil, like, you can't have a pedophile making
Oh,
stuff
ding,
for you
ding,
as part of your
ding.
community in a broad sense, right?
Brother Phil.
You should probably just ban the fucking
He's
guy
working.
and
I thought
he was King
send him
Phil.
packing, and
He's
I think
working.
you'd
He's been
get
knocked
lot
down a
less shit
peg?
if you
He's
did.
working.
Here's the thing.
He's
You're
working
right.
it.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right.
Then
You guys
ban
are
him.
correct. If I were right now
Oh, I
to
get it.
say enough is enough, too many people have issue with this guy, ban him.
Sure.
Okay?
Mhm.
That would solve that problem. However, the
However,
big picture
what?
that no one's
Let's
looking
solve that problem then.
at. Okay,
Duh.
okay, but listen.
Yeah, go ahead.
You don't understand the Pandora's box that you open once you do
Phil,
that.
that's a very obvious, like, slippery slope.
What?
fallacy.
You don't
It's
understand,
like, you can
Derek.
get rid of the guy that has the
That
little
is
girl
a
playlist
fallacy,
on YouTube without
yeah.
opening Pandora's box. That's
No,
not
I'm a
no,
proud
no,
ally.
No, Josh, you got to listen. All
What
right? 'Cause
Pandora's
again, you know how
box?
bad my detractors are, correct? You know
Alright,
how
sure.
crazy they are. The only reason that we even know anything
So,
about this
they're-
person
your detractors
is
want
because
you to
my
ban Derek.
detractors went to all of his personal socials
And
and dug into them deep. They
But he's
went
a
to his
pedophile.
But they
streams.
got him.
They
It's
dug
righteous.
They
into
got
him
him,
deep.
though.
They
They proved
now,
it.
hold on.
That's
I know.
where the information
listen,
about
I'm
how
not
twisted this
disputing what
guy
you guys
came
are
from.
saying.
Oh my
Please let
God.
me finish what I'm
Oh,
saying.
For sure,
as it
for
is.
sure,
I-
for sure.
All right.
this is
The,
amazing.
if the only reason that I know that this guy
Thank you for being on.
did something
Ronnie,
bad
please.
is because people went off of the realm of my streams and my content to find it. I'm sorry,
Anytime, bud.
but that's not my responsibility to be dealing with. Do you understand? Because here's the thing.
Oh
now,
my
please
God.
listen. If
He's
I
defending
ban
Derek.
right now, I call him
He
Derek
just
because that's what I
said
thought his name
it's
was. I guess it
not
actually is Darius or whatever,
his
but
problem.
if I ban Derek
bro.
right now, here's what will happen. Because here's what Josh just said about Kiwi Farms. If he
I don't
deletes my
care
thread
if
on
they put
Kiwi
all that
Farms right
evidence
now,
out in front of
the
me.
detractors go
Derek
somewhere else to
didn't do
something
it
worse,
in front of
correct?
me. So
If
unless I
ban
catch Derek
right now,
red-handed,
the
I don't believe
detractors
it.
won because they say, look what we did. We researched a guy who no
So
one
you
would have
won't
known he had
do it
anything wrong with him
Oh my
by just watching
God.
Phil's streams. For the record,
won't do it
Derek
because
has
they
never
win
once
and he
talked about
loses.
any of this malicious activity on my stream. He knows better than that. He
But
doesn't
you
bring
know
that shit.
of
That's
it.
his personal
Probable
life or whatever,
deniability.
right? So he does not
Look at
do that on my
PPP.
stream.
He's
If I ban him,
pissed.
guess what happens? The detractors say, we got the response we wanted.
His
We'll finally
personal
ban
pedophile
him.
If I may,
life?
We're on to the next.
I have a very personal.
Not just your
like, there's
detractors.
there's
Everybody
very
wants
comparable
Derek
story for
gone.
us.
He's
Yeah.
a
The forum is
weirdo,
having
bro.
a kind of beef with this Ricada guy that you know about, and he dug through some information and he found out that one
So
of the users
you're
was a
keeping Derek
convicted
around to
child pornographer
spite
from
people.
the District of
Yep.
Columbia. And when this was brought to my attention, I banned him. And sure, them finding this out was a win. You know, they won. They got to say, "Oh, well, the Kiwi Farms has a pedophile. We can prove it."
Mhm.
And it's true. It's embarrassing, but I
That's a
still
win
banned
for
him
everybody.
because I don't want a pedophile on my forum. Do you think that's a fair comparison?
It is a fair comparison.
ban
However,
him.
what you didn't let me
A known
finish
pedophile,
this
dude. You don't
statement.
know about
The
everybody
moment
else.
I ban Derek and these detractors say we won, guess what happens? You just gave them exactly what they wanted. You gave them the attention they're craving, and then they
Who
move on to
cares?
someone else.
But he
And
is
then
a
move on to someone
pedophile.
Oh,
else.
come on,
And then they
Phil.
move on to
Sometimes in
someone else
life,
until
you
it's
have to-
done.
But sometimes in life you have to hold the L. And
That's a
sometimes bad
strange
people are gonna get
fist
it in,
notion. I've seen
but
that
that's
before.
just the reality. You have a pedophile in your community, like an open pedophile, and you're basically
Yeah.
admitting he's a pedophile.
Oh,
Isn't that
no,
what the
let me
Power
tell you
Rangers
this.
did?
Okay, okay.
Fist
I
to
will
the
say
open
this.
palm.
I don't know anything about that because I make it a philosophy. I do not personally research my viewers.
bullshit.
It's
I
morphin'
think it's
time.
fucking creepy that I would spend my time.
That you've been
every time that someone
told. Your
says something about
audience
someone,
has
I gotta go
told you.
search
He's
their
posted
socials,
it
I
in
gotta
your
go to
chat.
their YouTube page and search their history.
Wait, may I say one
I-
thing? Sorry, may I say one thing? Okay, so you're saying people did research outside the realm of your show and
Right.
whatever. I get what you're saying there. Well, if Derek
It doesn't matter. There was
caught
triple X
and you
links
found
in
out
his
that
chat.
the police
Yeah.
found something on him, and he's in the middle of a trial right now, and he was a pedophile, right? And it wasn't the detractors or anything. It was through legal whatever,
Alleged.
right? Then would
Yeah.
you ban him because it wasn't detractors?
Well,
But
how
he
would I
was-
find out about that? Like, how would I even know
A
that?
fan of yours goes, I
my
live in the same
God.
city as him, and I saw him on the news.
Public documents.
Well,
Police
what if it was
reports?
Harvey Weinstein? Like, how bad does somebody have to be
Yeah,
before you're like, well, I don't want to
exactly.
associate with this guy?
So
You
if
know what I
Hitler
mean?
was on my stream and was still alive, would
Yeah.
I ban Hitler? Right?
It has to
Yeah,
happen
if
in
Adolf
Phil's
Hitler
gated community
1488
for
was
him
an
to
active
believe it.
user on your stream, would you ban him? Because he's only the Fuhrer.
Oh,
in
you're
Germany.
comparing
You don't know
Hitler
anything
to
about it,
Derek?
right?
Wow. Yeah, I mean, you're right. I mean, that's a good point. But and I totally understand what you're saying. I do. Let me
Mr.
tell you,
Hello,
I've gotten
Joe.
a lot of shit over this. And here's the funny part.
Right?
What the fuck does this have to do with me? It's not even anything.
He's a
I've
part
done
of
or
your
ever. I gotta take
content.
shit because someone got dirt on a viewer of mine. who
Everything.
talks a lot in chat or whatever. And
This
again,
sick
the
F
other
is
things
in your
you've been
chat,
told are
bro.
Not true. He's not a moderator. He doesn't regularly make any content for me.
He does.
He's had one tier maker that I made. That's it. Like that's literally.
Then
Oh, now he
ban
doesn't
him.
regularly
Let's
make
just-
content for you.
So
Then
if he
ban
has
when you
a
need him.
playlist of little girls on his channel, he's creeping
Mhm.
on little girls. Do you disavow that behavior?
Oh, absolutely, I do.
So
Absolutely,
you
I do.
disavow Derek then?
Yeah, I don't condone any of that, but at the same time, I'm not going to go out of my way to find out who everyone is or what they do
They
outside.
disavow
of
Derek.
We're bringing it to you.
You're
Me
going
and
out of
Josh
your
have
way
both
to
You don't have to.
protect
People
him.
did it for you.
As of
Yeah.
yesterday, saw that it was foul and disgusting, and now we're bringing it to you. We're credible. Like, I'm trying to help you.
What if
Let me
Derek
rephrase
was
I know, I
doing
know. But I
cat-related
totally
sick
understand where you
stuff?
guys are.
You are
I do.
totally correct that if you ban this guy, the detractors will start looking into your viewers harder. You are totally correct. That is a completely accurate assessment. But don't you? Wouldn't you still
maybe?
Yeah, that's a big maybe.
not want this
Not like they
guy
don't
to
already.
be in your
Yeah.
community or your audience and openly?
They look
known
into
as
everybody
this
who
guy?
donates.
Yeah, but I think that
'Cause
kind
if-
of
I'll-
slowed
I'll
down once
swing
they
it the other
found
way.
out
If
Jade
you-
was
it's
actually
a
disabled.
no-win situation. That's correct. If you
That's right.
don't ban him, if you ban him, then the detractors will look into your other viewers.
They still
and you're
publicly
completely
troll
accurate
him.
about that. But if you
Yeah, I can't
if you
say
don't
that.
ban him, if
But,
you do nothing,
like, they don't look
then
into
they will just
them very
continue to
much
bring this
anymore,
up
do they?
with an accurate line from the point A to point B.
No, they're not.
And
They're
it will
not
always
trying
be there,
to
and it
lynch
will
him
always
publicly
haunt
like
you,
they
and
do,
people
or they
always
want to
ask,
with
Well,
Phil.
why the
Yeah.
fuck doesn't he just ban this guy if he knows about him?
Mhm.
It's a no-win situation. I agree.
You're right.
But I think that
So-
one option is better than the other.
Exactly.
So to answer that,
The triple P
at least
PDF
in my
file alert.
and I'm 42 years old. I don't know how old you are, Josh, but I'm 42 years old. I've learned in my 42 years on this planet that I would much rather deal
Oh,
with
boy,
the
here we
devil
go
I know than
again.
The devil I don't.
There's too much
What I mean by
drama
that
for
is-
me. I just want
I
to
know
play
what it is.
games.
I can't confirm or deny what you guys are saying because I've literally
How
never
can
looked
you
into
say
it.
you know who he is when you won't look into it?
I know who he is in my chat. I know who he is as
This
part
is
of
flat
of
out
chatting on the
delusional,
community.
though. Like if
But
you look at
even
his
in
Twitter
your
account,
chat-
it's just straight up porn, 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 porn.
Okay, I
Like-
believe you. You're telling me this now as a neutral third party, correct? You're neutral.
But you've been told this and he's
it's-
posted it
it's
in your
very
chat.
foul. Like Phil, this is not like
Well,
someone's
X-links.
kind of like an incel or weird or whatever, and
It's
or
three playlists
this
with
is like
hundreds of
fucked.
videos of just little girls
Yeah, this
doing
is like
innocuous things.
He's so full of
It's-
himself, he
it's-
doesn't remember
it's genuinely
anything
fucking
half the
creepy.
time.
Yeah.
Well, if this is what you guys are telling me, then yeah, I'm going to ban him.
Let's
But-
go. Yeah,
but-
honestly,
Couldn't
Hold
you go
on,
into
hold
his
on, hold on.
chat and see
devil-
Derek's
that was the
posts
devil I
over
knew.
a certain amount of
You
time?
understand?
Yeah.
So I can deal with that. I know how to deal with this guy. He talks a lot in the chat and whatever, and
Or
it's annoying to
comments.
certain people, and I got to hear people talk about what he does in his personal life. But now when I ban him, now I got to deal with the devil
Like
I
his
don't know.
chat log?
What's the next person who's now going to get harassed by my detractors? And I don't want this to be like Phil's
Yes, we all fear the
I
unknown, Phil.
understand that, but I think regardless of what you do, your viewers are going to get harassed.
And they're still
hunted
going
down.
after your other viewers, dude. They
And
still
this
are.
happened before.
Like,
There were whales on the DSP channel who got doxxed, and I think that was one of the other things where I was kind of irritated with people on the DSP board because they were doxing. Like, I don't remember his name, but there was a guy that gave you a lot of money, and simply because
Josh,
he
you have
gave
to
you a lot of money.
You have to understand something. What you're describing right now is a normal day of behavior on that forum about me. That's not.
Darish is
like,
not
going to
get banned.
That's literally what happens every time.
So you're just used to it then?
To support me, they get doxxed on your forum,
And that's
then
why
someone
the
removes it
Derek
eventually.
thing doesn't matter.
Oh, it's
because
okay.
It's like,
They're doxing my
they're gonna
whales.
be pieces of shit no matter what. And honestly, like, we're telling you right now, I swear, Phil, we've been as nice as possible. I gotta say, this Derek guy is twisted. Like,
Oh, boy.
It's just bad news, Phil. And
3 against 1.
Yeah,
you
he's
gotta
tell him.
get
Please
rid of
tell
this
him.
guy. Like, you know,
Okay.
you didn't know until today, but now you
He
know.
knew,
And
bro.
I'm just
Fuck
telling
that.
you,
He
man.
knew.
If you don't get
It
rid
gets
of
worse if you don't do anything about
It
it.
gets
Didn't
way
know.
worse if you don't get rid of him. And
Please.
quite frankly, our audience isn't going to tolerate Derek, and
Especially after today.
and nor do I. I'm not going to tolerate Derek either. And some people in chat are saying, "Why haven't you banned Derek from this chat?" If Derek hasn't been banned from our chat already,
I hope
I
he
advise
has.
every single mod to ban him because I honestly like. It's just this weird, creepy stuff. Like he's got lolicon going
this
on.
is
on
a
his
casino
Twitter.
W.
He had
dude.
that YouTube playlist of little
Fuck.
girls,
Fuck
and
them.
then everything he talks about is porn all the time, and it's just a bad look for you to be associated with it, Phil. And I think if you were,
Oh,
to
what
cut
happened,
this
Phil? You
cancer
were
off
speaking
his
as
legs
we.
and
Now
call him
it's
the fuck
me.
out, I
Re.
think you would win a lot of respect
Because they made
and
it
support
him.
from
They
you.
singled him out.
Yeah,
See,
yeah.
and
I know,
here's
for
the thing: what
sure.
you just said. So if you were to cut the cancer off, but
Yeah.
the thing is, he's not me.
Yeah.
He's just. a
But they were
dude in
your
my
friends,
chat.
Phil. They
But-
weren't
so,
gonna
I
buddy
get what
troll
you're
you.
saying.
Perception
is
is reality.
The only reason
Yeah.
that association ever existed is because my detractors went and stalked the guy to figure out the information. I'm not being sympathetic to what he's doing. I'm
But you
sympathetic
kind of
to the
are.
fact that
It
this
didn't matter
guy
what they
never
found
did
out.
that in
Just
my
from
chat.
Derek in the
And
chat
then the
alone, people knew
rules
he was a
now are
creepy
going to
dude.
become, oh, well, now
Yep.
if you ever do anything that's deemed immoral, Phil might ban you from his chat.
The pedophilia
And I don't
is
want
sort of
people
like
to think that. You know what I
surpasses
mean?
a lot of immoral stuff.
Yeah.
You
in
know-
my opinion, and also, you know, we have a lot of viewers here. If someone went and found something on one of the viewers, and it was like they're fucking, you know, pedophile, this, that, the other, we'd surely ban them without even a thought, right? Especially if it came out to be true, and you're like, okay, this guy, and it's not like it's like a rumor. It's this guy on his main channel. You click view channel, and he's got it open. Like he's like, here it is, guys, and we really think that I know what you're saying, that your detractors will be crazy and psychotic and go after other people, but they'll do that anyway. And I'd respect you a lot if you just got rid of him. And you know, it sort of puts a precedent to
They're
I will
peer
not let
pressuring
people who
him.
believe in the shit.
I've
in my
never
chat.
seen-
I'd respect
I'm just
you a
saying, the
lot. What
proof is,
happened?
like, overwhelming.
Ashton, you didn't respect him already?
Undeniable when you look at it. It's
Right?
just too overwhelming. to
I've
deny,
never
so.
seen
Okay.
a grown
Done.
man
All
peer
right, so
pressured in my
I mean,
life.
I'll be honest. Here's my final statement on it. It makes me sad for two reasons. Number one, it makes me sad to know that this guy does all
Mr.
that
I'm
shit,
42.
because I've
I thought
heard
you knew
it for
better,
like
Phil.
2 years now, and I'm just like, it's just the detractors, right? They're just maybe they're exaggerating, they're making it up. And I
Yeah.
made a philosophy. I'm not gonna do this. I'm not gonna look
He's-
into it.
he's gonna
because if I
Yeah, they're
try,
making up
I've
stuff
broken
on
my
Derek's
moral
own
code,
YouTube
and
channel.
I'm not gonna
Yeah, that's
look and stalk
publicly
and harass
available.
my own viewers. So that's why I haven't done it until today. But now that you guys have said this to me, I believe you. I don't think you have anything to gain by lying to me.
You haven't
So
even
I
done it
will
yet,
be
Phil.
banning him when he shows up, because you know undoubtedly he's going to show up in my
Yeah.
chat this week, and I will ban him on all of my channels. Okay, that's
A
number one.
righteous decision, King.
Can't he
Well,
ban him
I'm
already? He's
sad.
a participant.
Here's why I'm
yeah,
sad.
he can just
all
go
right?
to his
To be
channel
honest with you
now
guys,
and ban
From
him
what
now.
I know of the guy in my chat, he actually was like a good person in
Yep.
the chat.
He
And
seemed
that's what's
nice.
sad
He
is
seemed nice. Yeah.
he's a nice guy. He
He's
has
not gonna-
nice
he's
comments.
not
I mean,
gonna
he's
ban him, dude.
needy. He always asks, "Hey, talk to
Come
me. Why
on,
is he not
Phil,
talking
you were
to me?"
getting
Right?
annoyed
But
of him
He has
anyway.
very nice, positive
Wait,
comments.
what?
You know,
He
Can you
brings
explain that?
candy.
What does that mean?
But Phil,
well, he needs attention.
let's
You know what
just
I'm
try
saying? He's
not
one of
to
these.
talk positive about the pedophile, right, Phil?
No, I'm not. No, I just understand.
Oh,
If you separate that, because that was
He's in his
my
20s, Phil. He's not a kid
For
anymore.
the kids.
When this
Yeah,
guy
he's a
showed up to the
fucking
chat,
adult.
he came with this
That is-
entire van full of
a grown
candy. It was
man.
so
This is-
nice. Everyone
this
got
is
their
like
favorites.
this is like you know someone for a while, and
He's somehow
you
managing to go to
let's say
college.
you have a work, you're at work, and someone at work is someone you're friendly with, right? And you're
I
like,
don't
wow,
know
they're a
how,
nice guy.
but that
Then you
just
find out
speaks
2
into
years
the
later that this
degradation
guy's
of
a
the
scumbag,
education
like something
system.
like
That's
this.
that's
gonna be
different,
fine.
Phil. You have to tolerate
But
people you work with.
You guys are
Yeah.
absolutely correct, so I'm gonna get rid of him because I trust you.
God bless you, Phil. I appreciate that. Josh, give us your thoughts here, and then we'll go back to Phil, and we'll do a few more rounds of questions here.
Phil, you don't get rid of them because you trust them. You get rid of them because it's the right thing to
Wow.
Yeah,
Big
he can never.
support.
It can never be his opinion,
Appreciate all you hear. All right,
and it
sorry, go
has
ahead.
to be somebody else's.
It's not a unique problem because there's another person who has a large following called Chantal, and her top moderator for
Chantal.
years was this
Oh,
guy who
no.
got outed
I
as
believe
a
that's
convicted
Foodie
sex
Beauty.
offender. And,
It's
she finds
Chantal,
out, she's
not
like, well, that sucks.
Chantal.
He's been
Yeah.
fasted the streams for 3 years now, but
Isn't that
bye-bye.
Beauty?
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, it's
Okay, yeah, yeah.
sick and twisted. And, we respect that you're doing that. I know it's sort of, but like everyone was saying this, and I get it. You don't want to listen to your detractors because they do exaggerate or lie about some stuff, sure. So you're like, but we're just telling you straight up, this is a 110%. It's not even.
They lie about
but,
some stuff?
Yeah, I respect that, man.
Okay,
Hell yeah.
fair
Yeah,
enough.
dude. Yeah.
Do you
don't
have
know.
any other questions for Josh, Phil, specifically about the forum or about
Yeah, like for example, like there's a couple specific instances I'd like to bring up and take,
Or
get
just
his
questions
take on
in
it.
general.
So, for example, one of the things that's happened over the last couple of years is that my detractors have been harassing extended family members that myself and my wife have absolutely no interaction with whatsoever. Okay, for the record,
Extended?
my wife does not have interaction with her family members. She has there's history there, and there's a reason she doesn't talk to them. She moved on from having.
That's
other
scary. Why are
family,
you
know what I'm
keeping her
saying?
from her family,
it's a
Phil?
Yeah.
personal situation. I'm
Well-
not going to tell you what it is, but there's a reason for it, a good reason for it. Okay. My detractors went out of their way, and of course, it's public information.
Explains
to
why
find out
she's
that she
stress
has a
eating.
sister,
Yup.
okay. They then contacted the sister.
This isn't true. Jenna.
Jenna's all over the internet, bro.
Yeah, Jenna contacted me, homie. I never went to her. Never. She followed me, and the DMs were
What's up,
there.
bro? You gonna do something about it?
No.
Told
I'm
the
not
sister
into
about
diapers.
where we live, who I am, all of our fucking contact information and shit. They've gone on to sister
And I'm
goaded
pretty
her to
sure
do
Chill
streaming.
Murray's already
They've thrown the
claimed her,
sister
so
money.
he can have
And if
her.
you really want to know how it all started, it was my thread on Kiwi Farms. Because
You
they
remember
found all
that one
information
chick
and
from
they
Billy
posted it up
Madison
there.
at the end of the
And
movie?
now
having an affair.
It's been an
I'm not
ongoing
being rude,
thing.
but is this the woman that a user from the Kiwi Farms had sex with?
I have no idea. I don't know.
There's a thread, and I want to say it's someone related to Cat that somebody hunted
I think
down
so. I
and had
remember hearing
sex
something
with.
about
Yeah,
that.
and there's pictures of it on the forum.
So,
I think I
so
banned
you
that
see what
guy.
I mean?
Wait,
This
whoa,
is
whoa,
the
whoa,
kind
whoa,
of
whoa,
shit that shows up on my forum. It's like, what does this have to do with anything with us? We have no association with this person. We don't talk with this person.
Pause it for a second.
To our knowledge, this
What did he say?
I don't know verbatim, but supposedly somebody specifically went to Jenna to sleep with her out of spite.
Is this before or after the OnlyFans?
person might have some issues.
No,
and so we don't want
Chill
to be
Murray's
associated
been
with
I
trying
think it
to
was around the
So
right,
why
same
is,
time.
is any of this
I think
existing
Chill
on TV
Murray's been
Farms?
trying
Is
to
that
convince
not
her to
like the
get
level
into
that you would
it.
think,
I don't
wow,
know
that's kind of
why.
an extreme. This shouldn't be
He's
in the
just so
Dark Side
weird
Phil
about it.
forum. What does that even have to do with Dark Side Phil?
Go ahead.
You saw
Josh.
that she did a Triple
I
X
mean,
film,
I
right?
can ban him, but
I've heard the song about
I
it,
can't
yeah.
like unfuck her sister. You know, it's already happened. It's already done and posted on the internet. I can't do anything about that.
There's a clip rolling around online as she
So, but why is it in
dresses
my
as a
forum?
security guard.
Well, you
It has
did
nothing to
ban
do
The
with
him.
white
you.
girl, yeah.
It has nothing to do with me.
I mean, it does.
I'm not related
That's
to
why
this person.
the event happened because she was related to your wife.
But that's not that's not me. It's the Dark Side Phil thread. It's not the Cat Burnell thread, right?
I mean, in some ways it is. She's married to you, and the Bible says that you become one spirit. So technically, she's joined to the
He
forum.
Bibled your
I'm
ass.
sorry, but no, that's where I got to draw the line, dude. So now you're saying just because I have a public persona that literally anyone who has ever had an association with me in my life needs to get drawn into this drama sphere, that's bullshit. because that's a cope is what that is. Because you know that having family members that you don't have any association with being drawn into drama is bullshit. Come on, Josh. Just fess up and be like, yeah, that's extreme. That definitely shouldn't have been on there.
I mean, that guy should not have done that, but the fact that it happened and that he recorded it and posted it on the internet, it doesn't matter if it's on the forum or not. Like, that happened.
Okay, it could be on the internet. Does it belong on the DarksydePhil forum, and should it still be there right now?
Still there?
That is probably the most
That's not up to you.
accurate position to put it, and you can't put a genie back in the bottle. You just can't. That's not how it works.
But is it there right now?
I believe so.
Probably.
And should it
Good
be?
point.
Yes or no? Should it be on a forum about me?
I mean, yeah, that if you're throwing darts and you throw
What's
that
your
dart,
opinion
Okay,
on
relax
that,
there,
Ron?
cowboy.
bullseye for that is probably going to be
Right.
like where it lands is going to be closer to you than anybody else. Like,
Do
where
you
else is it going to
think-
go?
Do you think that the periphery people in Phil's life that involve themselves in Phil's content should be subject to criticism, or do you think they're off limits?
If they're on his chat, on his channel, talking to him, yeah. If he talks about them,
What's up? Sorry.
absolutely.
Yeah, I think they're open to criticism for sure. Like if they're
I was saying if
sorry, go ahead.
yeah, if he talks about them, brings them up on his channel, if he's in the chat, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. So, I mean, Kat used to be a streamer. So, I mean, I guess the
Yep.
commentary
And she
should-
used to make appearances too.
Yeah, so the commentary should be, do you get your anonymity back once you strip that away? And I don't think you do. Once you put yourself in the public eye, you're kind of there, right?
Yeah, and as long as her content's out there, as long as he keeps bringing her up, even if he doesn't say Kat specifically, she's his wife.
Yeah. It sucks, but you kind of brought her into the vortex, bro.
Every day he talks about how he has to stop streaming because he needs to spend time with her and how he wants to go on vacation. He wants to spend more time with her. Stop talking about her then, Phil. Make people forget.
Yup.
Like, categorically speaking, where does it go?
He's
I'm
always
gonna
playing
be
the
like,
victim.
Very frank
Exactly.
with you. That is an ultimate cope, because basically what you just said is anything goes. That's like saying I was walking down the street and I looked at a guy and I nudged him. Oops, he could be
It's
on
the
Kino
internet,
Farms
bro.
tomorrow because I
You
nudged the guy
can't
walking down
be
the street.
in definitive control of all things Dark Side
That's
Phil.
what-
I mean,
Yeah, it's like, bro,
with
what you're saying.
Christian, one time he took a picture of a black woman at a BK and posted it on the internet and said, "This woman gave me poor service. The trolls should dox her," and they did. And it's on the forum to this day, like 10 years later.
Chris Jan took the picture of the woman, posted it on the internet. That makes it appropriate to Chris Jan to post on his forum. I have absolutely no association with this woman. I don't know her. I will never speak with her. She has nothing to do with our lives. We don't speak with her, so we disowned that relationship. You are allowing people.
That's not what she said. That's not what she said. Jenna said that you refused to let her see Kat.
To now go outside the realm of what the forum thread is supposed to be and just toss anything on there and say, what was on the internet? It's free speech. No. You're allowing
I mean,
systematic
literally,
harassment.
yes.
You're allowing systematic harassment is what you're doing with your forum.
I'm not allowing anything. If someone goes out and harasses, people and talks about it on the forum, they do get banned.
But it's on the forum right now.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the guy got down.
No.
But you said the content is still on the forum. You banned the guy who posted
Yes.
the content, but you left the content up?
I mean, yeah. What am I going to do with it? Pretend it
So
didn't
Get
you
happen?
over
never-
it, Phil.
so this
That is
interesting. I
Kiwi
didn't even
Farms.
know
It's
that.
all
Yeah.
You're
thing
saying
public
if someone
information.
violates the forum
It is.
rules, you will ban them, but you do not remove the infringing or the bad content. You leave it there.
Isn't it an internet
depends
archive?
on a concept of harm reduction.
Do you know the rules,
if
Phil?
It is,
Yeah.
For instance, I'll give you two adjacent perspectives. Let's say that somebody has sex with Kat's cousin or whatever and posts that on the internet. Well, that's out there. It's going to get proliferated around. It's going to get spread regardless of what happens. If someone posts nude images of their own girlfriend randomly in the forum, that would be against the forum rules, and it would then be prudent to delete them because it's just a harmful use of the site without any
Big
any
up H-Bombs.
connection
Hello,
or purpose.
brother.
But when it comes specifically to content about high-profile people, there is literally no reason. There's no good.
Can he jump
done
on the
there.
call?
You don't think there's
H-bomb?
good being done to remove that content from that forum right now? You don't think that,
Yeah.
that would be in the best interests of everyone involved?
Yeah, I'm asking him right now if he
This
wants
woman
to.
who they're actually
Oh.
stalking and doing things to get content. You don't, and she has nothing to do with us. But
But when
you're
you
allowing
say
that to be posted.
stalking, there is no coordination to do this. This guy said, I'm gonna contact this woman, and I think he found like her profile like a hookup site or something. And it's like he didn't conspire, he didn't use the forum as a tool to accomplish this. He did it, and then he talked about it on the internet, and there's no way to undo that.
I don't know. To me, okay, I'm gonna.
Is it revenge porn though?
No.
It could be, but in revenge porn as a crime does not exist. Maybe in some states, but at a federal level, there exists a tort of non-consensual pornography. So if she was unaware that he was recording, she could sue him under that tort, but she could not sue the platform. And she may even be able to get a court order to take things down, because sometimes they do that. And if I get a court order, then I get a court order, and that's
I
just what it
remember,
is.
Like,
Oh,
hasn't
big
A0
ups,
tried
man.
to take? I know you can't probably talk about it. Hasn't she tried to take legal action against you about?
She's
revenge
tried to
porn?
invoke VAWA, which is called the Violence Against Women's Act, and that's the act that has this tort for non-consensual pornography. But as I explained, it's a tort between two parties that doesn't involve the platform, and it may result in a court order to remove content.
Yeah.
But as the tricky thing with revenge pornography in particular is that the person photographed does not own the copyright. The pornographer does. So unless the pornographer wants it down.
It's a copyright issue.
It is literally a copyright issue, usually. There's famous cases where people have bought the rights to their pornography so that they could use copyright to take it down. But if there's no cooperation there, then that can't happen. But in generally speaking, if
I
it's
have no
pure
idea about
malice
any
and
of
no
this.
association with anything tangentially related to the forum, then it will get taken down. But if it's a high-profile person, there's nothing I can do about it.
What are they talking
It's
about?
out there.
Revenge?
Well,
Yeah.
first of all, that statement's false. There is something you could do about it. You could remove it from your forum right now, and then people would.
They're talking about the legality of revenge porn.
Yeah, way to speak for him, Phil.
Yeah, and if what's her name did Jenna, and it being posted to the forum is considered revenge porn because she's doing it to get revenge on Phil. I think it doesn't make sense. Because-
Is the clip? Does the clip show anything actually nude, or is it just the fact that she's there?
I think it's like full on just like them doing the do, and it was done because of a detractor was mad at Phil.
Okay.
And then that video was posted to the forum, and Phil's mad that it was posted to the forum, and he's trying to say that it's revenge porn, I think. I don't know.
I think the law varies state by state,
Yeah,
and
and that's
depending on
That's
who
what
posted it.
I think it was I think that's what Josh was saying, that the only person that could request it to be taken down is the pornographer and not the actors in the pornography. I don't know.
Yeah, whoever owns the rights to it.
Yeah,
But then again, she's in the work, so she may have
some legality there.
some
I
say, but
don't
it would
know.
have to be Jenna, not Phil.
Yeah. And I think Phil's trying to make the case that it's revenge porn because it's some kind of revenge against him. Bro, this is the stupidest shit I've ever heard, man.
Yeah, that's awkward.
would have to seek it out elsewhere. Again, it's the
Like, he
notoriety
cares
of
about his
farm.
family
we
image.
discussed this.
Find that
There-
stuff.
there
Right.
if I started
Being an
censoring things,
e-beggar.
people would go to an alternative site. I don't censor
Correct.
things, so they stay on the forum where there's a moderating spirit to it.
Exactly.
That's correct. So basically what you're saying is because it's on your site, you feel you're the best person on this planet to be moderating this kind of content. You're the best man for the job. No one else could do better than you, and therefore that's why you
Well,
feel you
that's
have
not
this
a single
obligation.
That's a
he
deep
said at all.
philosophical question that was
I mean,
raised
he is
by
the
Christopher
owner.
Hitchens. Who among you would you select as your censor? I select myself. I don't think that there's another person on the forum who's better capable of doing what I do than I do.
I'm not saying your forum. I'm saying in general. Do you think there's anyone better who could do a better job?
If there's
Because
a
actually,
more capable,
Go ahead.
censoring, if there's a more capable person, I don't know him.
Okay. Because this leads to a question like, why do you continue to own and operate Kiwi Farms?
You guys don't
To
hear
my
anything.
knowledge, you
Nothing showed up.
have been through the ringer with this thing. People are really coming after you legally. They're trying to take this site down because of stuff that's been on it, and you just keep going. You've gone from host to host, getting kicked off.
Oh, you think he wouldn't know that, Phil?
Why do you
Thanks
keep
for giving him an
maintaining the site
update
if
that
it's
people are
causing you
coming
so
after
much
him
pain and
legally.
Problems.
Because I love it. It's the best site on the internet.
So you
Oh,
just
for
love
sure,
drama
H-bomb.
and
No
gossip
problem.
so much that you feel like that's your thing and you just want to keep going.
I think the site is one of the most entertaining sites that has ever existed. I use it every single day. I post about like 3 to 5 times a day, depending. I keep up to date with a lot of the stuff, not everything, but I do keep abreast. I do a podcast about stuff that happens on the forum.
To be fair, though, Josh, sometimes you've said that it hasn't made you the happiest in life, right? Like sometimes it's cost you a lot of opportunities in life, and sometimes you've been sad about the state of it, right?
I mean, yeah. I mean, sometimes it's like there are days like during Drop Kiwi Farms, there was a time where it was like 3 a.m. where I was at, and I was literally just sitting with my hand in my head staring at a terminal that couldn't connect to the IP address. I'm just thinking, what the fuck is the next step? But I continue to work at it because I enjoy my site. And during that time where my site was down, I tried to use other sites out of necessity. Like, okay, I want to talk to
get you
people, I wanna
paid,
socialize a bit. So I went to
Right.
Discords, I went to Reddit, and I realized, God, all these places suck ass, and I hate them. And my forum is the best site on the internet. So I got to bring it back up, no matter what.
All right, back to you, Phil. What do you think about what Josh is saying here?
Yeah.
Here's the thing. We're never going to come to any kind of an agreement because it sounds to me like Josh and I come from different places of morality. This isn't a legal issue. It's
About
not.
what?
I know for a fact that most of the stuff that's been
Oh
put
God,
on
here we
the
go.
forum
He
is
already
illegal.
used this against
There is some
duty.
stuff that has been illegal.
Yep.
All right, let's be clear here. There actually has been information that people broke laws to get.
People with
and
morals
that should
don't
never have
beg.
been put on there, okay? But as for the legality of most of it, legally, I don't know how much they could really ever come after you, Josh. And that's not really what my issue is. My issue is morality. That I don't know if these guys will agree with me, but I can tell you from my own personal perspective.
Go to church then, Phil.
That site, your website,
Yep.
Kiwi Farms, I am telling you here 100% has hurt me and my family. 100%. It's hurt my business
Oh,
as
his
well.
website, Kiwi
This
Farms?
is not
Oh,
me
what about the other
trying
one?
to, get any sympathy from you, Josh. I'm telling you, your website has outright definitively hurt myself, my family, and my business. And it continues to do so because it's the focal point for when
Yeah, you've
people
already said that, bro.
want to hurt us.
Right?
That's the first place they go. Okay?
He's just a
So I'm
like a
gonna give
revolving
you
door
an
repeating
analogy
himself.
that I've been talking about on my
No
stream.
kidding.
Maybe you can kind of understand my perspective.
Yep.
Okay. So let's say that I was
He's
really
running
famous
short on
and I
his
wanted to be
script,
like
so
a
he's
philanthropist,
recycling. Go back to
okay?
page 1.
And I wanted to open up a community center in a local area because, I thought it would help the community out. It's the best thing. It's the best community center ever. But what happens is the people, okay, good. The people here who go to the community center keep getting into fights. They keep beating the shit out of each other. Then, okay, we get it cleaned up. We get in there. That shouldn't have been there. All right. But then the next week, there's a knife fight. Someone gets stabbed. Someone's hurt.
Yeah.
Oh
that's
my
called
God, that sucks.
normal
Let's
life.
clean it up. Let's clean it up. So it's not 1 time, 2 times. This happens hundreds of times. People are actually getting hurt at this community center. And despite all of your efforts over the years to keep this community center a clean place, a fun place, a place where people are actually getting meaningful stuff out of it, God damn it, it's out of control and you know it. Do you keep that community center open and people continue to get hurt, or do you close the community center? What would you do?
I mean, right now the forum is probably the tamest it's ever been. As far as back in the day, you got to understand, back when the site was smaller, we could get away with a lot more. And as time has gone on, and as you know, we've gotten more attention. I've had to stick closer to the rules, you know, and be more careful about what I say and more careful
Ames,
about
how do
what
we
I let
add
people
H-bomb
say
to the
on
call?
forum. You're
What's
saying
his
like,
Discord
well, this
name?
community
I'm not
center sounds
entirely
like
sure.
a coliseum.
I'll search
where
for
you're
his
just
name and
letting
I
in
can
the
add him.
lions to tear at people, and you're just when you know people get mangled, they just sweep the bodies away and bring in the next gladiators or whatever. Really, over time, the site has gotten bigger, but also a lot more tame, and even your board is a lot more tame. So I would disagree. Now,
You did say we can get away with more. What do you
What's
mean
his-
by that?
what's
You
his
used to be able to
Discord?
get away with more. Could get away.
oh yeah,
with
sure. I mean,
Yeah.
during the day, the site used to have people who were much more actively engaged in trolling, and I would turn a blind eye to it. But that hasn't been the case for like 8+ years now. We've really had to be more careful about what we do.
Okay.
Go ahead. What was
Oh,
was your second point you were going to make, Joe? I'm sorry I cut you off, but
The I mean, the other part is that you said, well, the Kiwi Farms has done harm to you. The Kiwi Farms is a collection of assets and licenses and the Zen4o forum software. That's the Kiwi Farms. But there are people on it who I do believe, I completely believe you, have done harm to you,
Oh,
especially, like
you're
I
in the,
said, people
wrong
who
one,
choose to go
buddy.
after your supporters. You know, I think OIC was the guy that they say they all hate the most.
Fine.
And I do believe that causes
Yeah, I figured
harm
that.
to
I'm
you when
about to
people
send you
go
his.
after you.
Oh, okay.
But I think if you were to name your top detractors and the people who are actively doing the most harm to you, you would find that most of them probably
There's
don't
his
even have a presence on the
Discord
forum.
name.
Now maybe you know over time the most damaging information and stuff has happened
shit,
on the
wrong
forum,
one.
but it's not the forum; it's people on the forum, and
Yeah, that's the
We've
argument
sort of-
that it's not the gun that committed the crime. It's the person who
Multitasking,
shot
it does it
the
to
weapon.
you
That's
sometimes.
the-
absolutely
Right.
correct.
I want to say something because you've expressed in the past, Josh, that you might want to move on from the Kiwi Farms one day, that it holds you back potentially from having a family, from having a normal life. Is that still your plan to eventually move away from the forum, or?
Well, right now, I mean, it depends on how things go. Right now, things are looking up.
No.
And there's a potential that I can make things work. You know?
Exactly, figures.
Every day seems
All
a
about
little
the
bit brighter,
money.
and you know there's ups and downs, but overall the trend from early this year to now, and you know from that time last year to then has been an upwards trend. Everything seems to be turning around.
I can't find him.
And yeah, I mean, if there ever came a point where it's like the forum is the reason I cannot progress in life, then I would have to move on from it.
All right, I'll
right
let him
now,
know.
there's nothing that I want
Okay.
to do that is
Tell him
getting
to,
that the forum is getting
add
in the
me.
way of.
Okay, I'll ask you this.
It's
too,
just,
'cause I-
B-Man
you know,
32.
there's some tough questions for Phil. I want to give you.
All right, Doug,
Do you ever feel trapped by? the
send it to me in
Kiwi
the
Farms?
DM.
Do you ever feel like maybe the users kind of force your hand in a certain way, or you can't run it the way that you might want to run it because if you do it that way, people will come after you?
He tried to
From
call me,
site?
but it said he wouldn't let me.
As a whole,
Or let him.
no, I don't feel
Yeah.
like
Oh, wait.
that. I feel that
Maybe right
most
here?
people have a very,
add-
very, very
or
high
just-
level of trust
they
in
have
me,
to be
and if I make
oh,
certain
wait.
decisions,
Wait,
even
I
if it's
think I figured
unpopular,
it out.
the majority, the overwhelming majority of people would understand. There are certain pockets where people are less cooperative, and that's the DSP board.
Oh,
basically.
no, they have to
Yeah, I've seen people
Maybe
jump on
also
calls
the
before, but
article,
I've
the
never
political
done it.
area of the site.
Yeah,
But
me
you never
neither.
feel like you're a hostage king,
Uh.
like they're putting in, like you're being
No.
forced to keep running the site, or else these
I can bring it down
fuckers
at
would
any
tell you.
time and disappear in an instant. People never know what country I'm in. what
Maybe
my
it's
name is.
because we're
I could
not
disappear
doing
in a
it in the
second.
server.
Oh, you have to be friends?
I don't feel it's the other way. You're stuck with me.
We're stuck with you.
Nobody
huh?
else can
Yeah.
run this shit heap.
Oh, okay.
All right.
All right. Anything else, Phil, that you
I
have
don't
for
know.
Josh, or you want to
This shit's
confront
nuts.
him about, or anything?
I mean,
like that?
again, this wasn't really about being a hostile confrontation. I wanted him to understand that his site is the facilitation.
I invited you to
of
server.
a lot
Okay,
of
yeah,
hateful
for sure.
content towards myself, my family members, and my business. I know he's trying to clean it up. I will agree with him. I did check the forums before this discussion, and it did look a lot cleaner than it had previously.
Okay.
But for me, I've now been through this so many years. It's like, what's the next thing? 'Cause
Jump
you
into
know,
the server and
right
we'll go
now,
into a
if someone
voice
were to
chat.
hack one of my accounts. The
The
first place you would find out about it is Kiwi Farms, because they'd be like, look at all the information I got from Phil's accounts that I know I probably shouldn't put on the internet, but it's on Kiwi Farms, it's allowed, right?
Yeah.
So, but I don't think he's ever gonna. I did not think our conversation was going to lead that, like, Josh,
what
I'm going
is
to close this
going
forum
on
today. That's
here?
not even what I was going
no.
for.
I gotta say, so is Phil's bank leak still up on Kiwi Farms? Like, are all of his transactions laid out on there, or what was the moderation decision on that? They are still up.
I mean, it's
when you
it's
get in the
another
server,
thing
just go
where
to
it's
general
like,
chat and we'll talk
if I delete it,
from there.
it gets reposted
sure.
to Twitter. It gets shared around by the detractors. It probably ends up on a different website. That was one of the things where I got angry with people in the forum. It's like, it's not okay to hack someone's bank account. And it's like, I don't care if they're playing fucking WWE on mobile or whatever the fuck, whatever justification you have for trying to prove that he's putting, all this money into some fucking gacha game. It does not justify a federal computer fraud act violation. You know what I mean?
Well, it's psychotic,
Okay,
though,
there we
isn't
go.
it? Like, where does it end? Like, where does it end?
Oh shit.
Because isn't there some guy also? I want to bring this to get this in as well.
General chat.
Isn't there some guy who was fucking with Phil's internet, like turning it on and off and shit?
Where
Yeah, you'll
is-
probably
Posted
have
on
to drop the
Kiwi Farms,
call.
Evidence that it was him.
Yeah,
probably.
that's another thing where
shit.
it's like, you're a fucking employee with
Okay, hold on.
Comcast. They have logs. They can see in the fucking logs that you're doing this. Why are you doing?
Okay,
what
that's
fucking gain is there
nuts.
in doing this?
And we caught him. The tech and I went into my modem during a tech visit because we didn't know what the hell was going on. And we saw all the logins from this guy. And we're like, this guy doesn't realize that we have evidence that he logged in every time.
Yeah, does he not think that the largest ISP in the United States doesn't keep
there it
fucking
is.
logs of when people log
Okay.
into a consumer modem? Like, are you nuts?
That's unhinged.
I will say though, Josh, at a certain point with these
Hey H
people,
bomb, how you doing?
Hey man, how are you?
into the culture of the rest of the
Big
site. Some of these
Hey, man, how are
detractors
you?
committing fucking
I'm pretty
crimes.
good.
Making you fucking
Okay, there we go.
mad. Do you
Yeah,
ever
oh,
I love
consider
this time.
just
Okay, here we
washing
go.
your fucking
Okay, there we go.
hands?
Hopefully you
Big
can
up,
hear
Phil.
me.
Like,
Oh,
With
what
the DSP
the
board in
Cool, cool.
particular?
Yeah,
Hopefully you
like,
can hear me.
I mean, it's gotten close.
You know,
Cool,
like
cool.
what? Like, walk us through some of these situations where you've got close
All right.
thinking to where it's like, God looked at the world and
All
he
right.
regretted what he made.
So what's your opinion on all this?
And washed this fucking shit away. And
So
there
what's
was
your
rainbow,
opinion on all
like,
this?
Ah, man, it's crazy.
Walk us to where you came close.
It
to
is. It's
sending
pretty
that
nuts.
Ah, man,
I
it's
think I already
crazy.
have. It's the
It's
guy
pretty
that
nuts.
hooked up with the cousin or whatever. That was bizarre. The Comcast shit was fucking bizarre. But
Yeah.
and the bank leaks were fucking bizarre. The issue.
The sad thing is, Josh, and I know this from my personal experience, what they're doing is they're literally making it a competition at this point. Who can do the most fucked up thing? Even though they know they might even get in trouble for it, they don't even care anymore. They just will keep escalating as far as they can get away with. Even if they don't get away with it, that Comcast guy got shit canned,
I don't
But they
think that
care. They know
Comcast guy
if I do the
existed,
most
yeah.
extreme thing.
I
I
don't
can
think
post
that
it on
You don't know
Comcast
that.
guy
They used to
existed,
do this
yeah.
in my video comments. Okay, let's say the most extreme doxing, racist thing in Phil's video comments. So there's only toxic shit in his comments, and then people would highlight that and put it in detractor videos, right? That's what they're now doing with Kiwi Farms because I don't allow that shit in my content. They
For sure.
found a neutral place that they can do it, and this
They pause it for a
competition is
second?
going to
For sure.
continue.
Oh
Pause
shit. Okay,
yourself on
hold
Discord because we're hearing you twice.
Oh shit. Okay. Okay.
All right.
Okay. Sorry.
Because you're allowing it.
Yeah, you're good
People
now.
are allowed to
No,
say
you're
whatever
good.
they
We just
want.
this way your stream
There's
is
no-
tolerable.
there's no
Otherwise,
where I would
everybody's gonna be
step on
hearing
and
you
say, like,
twice.
Oh, you can't
Okay,
say
for sure, for sure.
XYZ in regards to just like discussion posts.
That's but
Yeah, I
that's
think
what
I
we're
might be
talking
getting an
about. We're not talking
echo.
about discussion posts. We're talking about what we just said.
Yeah, I think I might be
Bank
getting an echo.
Employees committing
Yeah, it should be fixed
horrible
now.
acts against me and posting the evidence on your site, people fucking with extended family members. That's not a forum post.
Yeah.
That's, you know what I'm saying?
Hopefully
I mean, I agree. That's like a weird game. I
Mute
think,
yourself,
like,
H-bomb.
The people trying to prove like expenditure, like the main. I think like the holy grail for like the detractors, and this is something that exists outside the forum.
Or actually, don't do that.
is
Doing
the,
those.
the holy grail is like proving beyond a reasonable doubt that a majority of your spending goes to like.
I'm
mobile
sorry.
games.
This
I
is the
think that's
first
it.
time I've used Discord.
And they're
like
they're
this.
really they're really like hyper focused on that.
Same here,
No,
bud.
I will agree there. And it's just, it's I get it because that's the one thing that they feel like they got me on. because I'm not going to open my fucking documents and show you
No,
everything.
don't
my
mute
personal
yourself,
life
H-Bomb.
and
Oh, because I'm still getting an
You know
echo.
what? The thing is, you shouldn't have to open up any of the
Oh, 'cause
fucking
I'm still getting an
documents.
echo.
You shouldn't have to
Are
show
you?
your financial statements. But
Uh-oh.
this shit's been going on long enough, Phil. Like,
All
you
right, then
play
I guess we'll hear you
WWE
through the
champions,
stream.
You know what I mean?
Go ahead.
I don't.
Right.
I don't
Let's
think it's.
go.
I don't think it's a problem that you
It doesn't
play
matter.
WWE champions and that you spend your money on WWE champions. It's your money.
Wait, huh?
It's your supporters,
I'm
and you
not.
should just be fucking open about it. Cause fuck them.
Yeah.
Fuck them.
You're right. The reason that it became so big is because at first I said I didn't. And
No.
so, again, with these people, it's the absolute. It's either you black or white. So because at
you
one
still
point I
getting
said
the
I
echo?
didn't, I always said I didn't. No, actually, over the years, I have admitted I do play it. I
He's gonna
spend
hear
money on it.
himself,
now
'cause
what
he's hearing
they
the
say
stream,
about it
too.
is wrong. They over exaggerate to get that shock reaction of from the viewership. They're purposefully saying, "Oh, he spent that video." I just looked at it yesterday from Duty. He says Phil spent $2,448 on WWE champions this weekend. No,
This
I didn't.
weekend? Come on.
Hey,
Just
just
this
mute yourself,
weekend.
and you should be able to
I said that,
hear
like, no, what the fuck are you
us
talking
through the
about?
stream.
But even if
I
you did,
did.
Even
you're
if
a
you
fucking,
did, though.
you're a big baller, though.
Yeah.
Next time we'll
You're
work this
fucking
out better.
king. Like,
That's all good.
get
honestly,
it.
Phil, at this
Well,
point, I would just
That's
all good.
start streaming WWE champions.
Yeah.
Even fucking polls.
In reality,
What the
I had the conversation with my viewer yesterday. I says, what I might do is make a new account and just start over and
Yes.
show
do
people
it.
how you
Yes.
built it up. Yeah.
And you show
Exactly.
them how you build it and then play WWE champions all the fucking live long
Well,
day.
I mean,
Now
that,
you
that's
win.
like the serious long-term point of contention, though, is that because I think the down from the rafters account like happened during or immediately before the bankruptcy saga. So people were like, "Well, you're asking for this financial help, but it's like going to this game." Like,
Right.
was it ever like problem for you? Did you ever have like a problemed relationship with gaming?
When you mean that, what do you mean? Like addiction to mobile games and
Because
stuff?
I remember you
In
saying,
particular
I've seen
with
a
spending,
clip
not just
of-
in games.
You said about Supercard, not yes, but
Yes.
you said with Supercard you were
Oh,
kind
yes.
of embarrassed with how much you spent on Supercard. Right?
That is correct. Supercard, it was like about a year, 2 years where I was spending on the game.
Just
and
like
playing
him
the shit
not
out of
being
it.
an alcoholic
And it was
anymore.
Like I was,
Right.
I definitely was addicted to it. I'll admit it now. I was playing the fuck out of it for no reason. To win an event in Supercard, you had to play for like 8 hours straight without even interrupting. I would be like, I'd be streaming, and I have to keep tapping the screen when I'm fucking streaming and shit. Fucking
No.
play the fucking thing. That's
Wait,
how stupid these games
8
are.
hours straight?
Yeah, in order to win, you would have to be a nut job basically to get it.
Dude.
And guess what? Guess what the best card I ever got was?
What?
What?
Hogan.
Let's go.
Let's
Oh my
get those
God.
Hogans, brother.
Of
The
course.
greatest
That's where the
wrestler of
meme
all
comes
time,
from.
Who's helping make America great again, brother?
Right.
Fuck yeah.
But here's the thing. I've made a lot of bad financial decisions along the way.
Yeah.
Right? Many. I stupid things. Racked up credit cards when I moved out here. I furnished the house way too expensive. I did dumb things. My plan was to move across the country, charge everything to a credit card, and continuously
Yeah, you
balance
spend a
the
lot of
credit
money
cards
and the
by
house
doing
still looks like
balance
shit.
transfers for 2-3
Right.
years at 0% interest until I paid them all
Yeah.
off.
Oh,
What a
yeah.
genius move that
Such
was,
a
brother.
king.
Yeah.
$10,000
I
custom
remember.
blinds in a prefab or prefab house.
What do blinds cost $10,000?
I fucked all
Yeah.
my finances up. It's
Mhm.
my
What do blinds
fault.
cost
I went through the
$10,000?
bankruptcy, but these
Exactly.
guys,
Somebody who took them to
now
the cleaners.
have realized this is their ongoing thing.
Well, at
They
least
can
they were
never.
clean.
They know I'm not going to open.
Furnish the house way
my
too
fucking
expensive and all his
information to them.
appliances are
They
still
will just
broken.
Say it forever.
Furnish the house
for
way
me,
too
I mean,
expensive
you
and
noticed.
all
Did
his
you notice I
appliances
made a
are still
video
broken.
last night? Oh, did
Right?
you guys
Yep.
see yesterday? I actually did pull for a Hogan live on
Yes!
stream.
No way.
You pulled for a Hogan live on stream. Now what we got to do is get it on.
He was
camera
probably
this
flexing
time.
to the
Yeah.
contractors
Well,
We
like
gotta
I
go
said,
the full way.
interior
Let's
designers.
Get a new account, fresh
Right.
account, and
Right.
start
Exactly.
playing it. And I guarantee you, people will support with contributions like never before to get you the best Hogans.
Yeah, like
Right.
Bossman
No time
Jack,
at
how
all.
they pay him to
And listen,
to keep
Phil,
doing it.
you are going to be the best in the world at WWE Champions.
Which I don't even
It's
care. I
Hogan
don't-
time.
I really don't care that much about the game anymore.
They were
years
spending
ago
all
I
this
did.
time
I-
glazing him,
I
and then they
was
were
so
Say you
getting
love
upset
it,
with him
Phil.
over
You
Derek, and now
love
they're back
it.
to
I
glazing him
love
again.
it. I
Right?
play WWE Champions.
Oh, man, I thought the
take
Derek thing was
viewers'
awesome.
money. I do Hogan pulls. Not only do
Oh,
I
man,
do
I thought the
Hogan
Derek thing
pulls
was
with your
awesome.
money, viewers, I want you to
You're right.
understand,
He was so
I take your
scared.
money and I recklessly bet it on
How
football.
stubborn he was
All
with
the time.
Phil, though, or
Like,
Phil,
I am a
because
gambler
oh,
through
I
and
don't
through.
see
That's
it
why this show
firsthand,
is
and I don't want to
called
give in to what the
Kino
detractors want.
Casino.
The Kino Casino.
I buy
And,
video
like,
games.
If I ban him, the detractors win. It's like, dude, the guy's a pedophile. If I ban him, the detractors win.
It's
like,
something
dude,
that's actually
the guy's a
And everybody
pedophile.
else.
Like if you
Yeah.
it's something where these games are designed, and gambling in general and casinos are designed to fucking rewire your brain's dopamine system. Like
right.
Josh knows with Bossman Jack, like
Oh, so
what the
Phil's just a
depths of
victim.
this
Good one,
gambling can-
PPP.
Like, you know, Phil isn't at
It
that
feeds his
level.
complex,
You know,
man.
he still has a roof over his head. He still has food on his plate. But I don't know if it's
Yep.
really like
He
the
went
most
from being in the
evil
corner
moral
to being
failing,
one of the
because
guys
at the End
again.
of the day, the only
Yep.
person he's hurting with that is himself.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Even
Like,
if that, by the
Where did
way,
Josh
when
Moon
you
go?
buy
Is he-
games,
he
I
done
buy
talking?
games on Steam and PS5
I think he's still
or whatever,
there.
right? Like, sure, I'm wasting money, but I have fun. I'm enjoying.
No,
you know?
I know. It's just he's
Like,
not
you
saying
buy
anything.
things that
Back
make
to
you a
glazing
waste of
Phil. There
money
being a bunch of
for enjoyment.
fluffers right
You know,
now.
otherwise,
how
why
many
buy
of you-
anything?
But how many detractors smoke cigarettes?
Exactly.
How many
Or
drink
weed
beer?
or whatever? You know.
How many get scratch tickets from the corner store?
But I'm not
Do you know him
spending-
people in this
personally?
world have
Exactly.
A lot
I'm not
of
getting
vices.
$100+
And
$1,000 a
this is
year
where,
worth of
us and Josh, like,
cannabis, bro.
we're
Forget if I buy
talking about
$20 worth of lottery tickets in a year.
pedophiles, or like
Forget if I buy
degenerate,
$20
like,
worth of lottery tickets in a
bestiality
year.
scumbags and shit like this.
You can't.
It's hard for us.
And
to,
Ralph.
There's a difference
crack
between
down
playing the
on a
lotto
guy
and then
who
pissing your money away.
allegedly
Right.
On
has a
JPEGs of
gambling
sweaty men.
addiction and like with the WWE
Right.
champions. Like, I don't know how you feel about that, Josh, but that's kind of my piece on it. I don't know. If
Obviously,
you want
there's
to
a bigger turnaround between winning the
I mean,
lottery
especially
and getting a
because
bunch
he
of pictures of
doesn't,
sweaty
like,
men. Yeah.
Stream it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Phil, have you ever seen Bossman Jack? Do you know who that is?
No, I don't.
So I suppose that's a win
he's
for
like
Phil.
proper into gambling, like proper gambling, like house games and stuff. And it's actually shocking to see like what a toll it's taking on him physically and mentally over like just 1 year. And all he does is like play like cryptocurrency slots and stuff. And the sad thing about like
That's
the
the
mobile
drugs.
games is
That's
that
just not. That's not
you
just
walk into a
gambling.
casino and you hear the coins clanking and the slot machines and shit, and you know that you're.
Amir, has Andy been slurring his speech the
But
whole
with
time?
The mobile games, they dress it up.
Amir,
like
has
they're-
Andy
they're
been
just
slurring his
playing
speech the whole time?
like a game for fun, but it's all psychologically manipulative to get you.
Andy-
to do
I don't know.
And when
That
you
might
spend
just
money,
be
of
his
course, it's not like going up to a
mannerisms.
teller
Yeah,
and
I
putting up
think he's done
$200
so
and
many
having
hard
$200
drugs
of
that
chips to
his
play with. It's like every 10
cognitive
minutes.
isn't
Hey,
all
do you want
there.
to buy 1 chest for 5 or 10 chests for 10? It's like,
And he's replacing
that shit is-
cocaine with
it's really
caffeine.
fucking evil.
Sure.
The saddest thing and the most evil thing about it is that if you're in a casino and you're gambling money, if you win, you actually have a chance to win.
You know, they
more
also
money
pump
than you can
oxygen
use in your
into
life. When you're
the
playing these
casinos.
games, what did you win? The
Yeah,
chance to play the game
'cause, like,
some more.
90%
It's
of them are
all it's
smoking.
endless sinking money into the game. There's no outcome that could benefit you. You're stuck in the endless.
Well, not just
sinking. You
that,
can't
but
escape.
pure
And that's what I think a
oxygen
lot of
is
people-
almost
that's
like
what
a
happens to them.
serotonin
It's
or
that. I don't know if
dopamine
it's called
lifter
the
or
sunken
whatever.
cost fallacy.
really?
Yeah,
I
sunk
don't
cost
know.
fallacy. I was gonna say that it's like you get anchored to.
It
this
makes you
game
feel
just because
happy.
You've already spent like I've already spent $1,000 on
shit.
that. I guess I might as
Right.
well keep going.
Just keep going because you got to get something, get that dopamine.
That's
hit.
why they give you
need
free
it.
drinks so you
already
play
spent so
more.
much. It's messed up. It really is. It's I can't believe
shit.
that it's kind of allowed to be like that, but that's the world we live
And
in.
if the Kino
That's why the
Casino's a
house always
casino-
wins,
So was
Phil.
that down from the rafters account yours?
No, it's not.
No.
Yes,
It's really
it
not
is.
mine. I do have another account and I do spend money on it,
Ooh.
but that is not my account. And they have been whatever who this guy is, because
But
people have asked
Phil,
me
if it
Another
is
account.
You're the best in the world.
He has another account.
Like,
He did specify. He did
I
say
know.
another.
I know.
Why do they think it's you?
You
Why
are the
did
greatest
specify- he did say
WWE
another.
Champions player to have
Exactly.
ever lived.
May I ask,
only-
why do they think it's
That's
him?
not the one I want to admit
origin
to.
story. This is all I know is the origin story, because they have so many crazy conspiracies after that. I'm sure they have other. The origin story was originally the account was actually called They Call Me DSP,
Okay.
which happened to be my Twitter handle. All right. Now, I don't go by that anywhere else.
Yep,
It's
and then you
just my
changed
Twitter
it when you
account
got
was called
found
They
out.
Call Me DSP.
Yeah.
And apparently that account existed for like a couple of years, and then my detractors found it, and they're like, "We got him."
You
We
go
got
by
him
that
now,"
everywhere
right?
else,
Because
I
Phil.
remember this because the point of contention was that you can't change your name on that game, so it had to be changed manually by support, and they figured that after it had been found,
can't
they passed
unlink your
that,
phone
and they
number
changed it
either.
on their end.
Yep.
But it even had like weird artifacts in the game where it didn't change everywhere, so it was a very suspicious looking name change. I actually
Yeah.
remember this for some reason.
At least being a player at the game, I can confirm you cannot change your name in the game. Like, I don't know how that's possible, I've tried, because think of it, if I could change my name,
Bullshit.
why not? Then,
Bro,
you
you
know,
spend hundreds
kind
of
of double
thousands of
protection,
dollars
right?
on that game.
You can't.
They
You cannot
gave you
change.
special
I
privilege.
did
Yeah, they
ask
gave him
for it.
special treatment.
We changed my name, and they said to me, "Oh no, that's not a feature available."
Yeah,
Sorry
they gave him
about that.
special
So
treatment.
it sounds to me like whoever this
Oh, for
person
sure.
really is, because they were such a big spender, they maybe did a favor to them to protect. Oh, it's our whale. We don't want to lose the whale, so that's why they changed the name. But I couldn't even do that myself. So yeah, I think you're right. I think it might have been like a behind-the-scenes deal.
It's
or
our
something.
whale.
But why would this
Even
guy
when he's
that
making
set up this,
excuses, he's a
troll account and
narcissist.
put so much into it want to change his name.
I don't know, because here's the thing. That's actually what I was going to say. There's all these theories about who the guy really is. I honestly, at this point, I can't figure it out, and I don't care. Like, I don't know if it actually is a troll. It might be a guy who
He's
literally just has
your
the
alter
worst
ego,
fucking
Phil.
luck in the world
He's
to have
the
the same name as my Twitter account.
side
What
Phil.
would be the
Yeah.
big deal is if you just lied and said you were down from the rafters.
It's so dumb.
He only
it's just
comes
like,
out when you
Lie
drink.
and say you are, and then everybody can move on.
Yeah, then they're gonna want to see it, and I can't show you.
No,
'cause
you
I'm
can't.
not.
Don't worry
Don't
about
show
showing
anyone
them.
anything.
Never show them it.
No,
King.
show anyone.
Yes, you can,
Never
dude.
show
There's
them
nothing
shit.
identifiable,
No,
identifiable
Listen, at
on
this point,
WWE
just
champions
lie,
other than your
proclaim
screen name in the
yourself
game
the
itself.
greatest WWE champion
Exactly. It's just going to show his
ever
screen
lived.
name.
There's no harm in it.
No,
Exactly,
I know.
it's just
And
gonna
but
show
there's,
his
again,
screen
there's also
name.
no point.
Yeah,
because
he
people are
acts
gonna
like
also
we're
lie
asking to
and
see
talk about
his
it. So, you know.
Apple
Just,
account
like,
and
just
pause it for a
lie.
second. Pause it
Just
for a
say
second.
it's you. You played it. Who gives a fuck?
What,
Like,
but why would I? Why would I?
Supposedly now he's got a new phone and it looks to me like it's Android. So is WWE champions transferable from an iOS to an Android? I don't know if they're interchangeable or not.
I don't know, but he did talk about setting up a new account.
Yeah, but that was only last night.
Oh.
He's had his new phone for a while.
Oh, you're right.
He wants to create this new account so he can do polls live on stream on PC.
Oh.
It seems like if he had played it for that long, he would know.
Oh.
He's a master of double.
He's feigning ignorance,
Yeah.
just like he does everything else in life.
Would I lie and say
I'll
that?
tell
it's
you
me?
this because then we can all
Doesn't
just
know how to
move on.
use two mics
If
or
you
one
just
mic to
say it's
Discord and
you,
stream.
Just lie.
Right.
This is much like Hulk Hogan. He never lies, but he lies, and it's
That's
just
right.
the same thing.
That's
with
right,
King.
brother.
That's right, brother, dude. He slammed the 900-pound giant in front of 100,000 Hulkamaniacs at Silver City Field in Detroit,
I don't care.
Michigan,
Hulk Hogan was
brother.
still one of my favorite wrestlers, even if he's
tore every muscle
a
out of
different
his body
person
because
now.
he did it.
Yeah. He was
At
really
the end
fun.
of the day, there's not one
Especially his
person
match
who
with
will
Shawn
stop
Michaels,
donating to
bro.
you
He's a
because
legend.
you were down from the rafters.
No, I mean,
There's
I
not
know that.
one person who's gonna stop watching because
You
you're
know,
down
his
from the rafters.
marriage was a
They'll
wreck
donate
after the
more.
reality
They'll
show.
donate
Just
more.
we preface it with this
Right.
is a lie,
Oh, man.
and just say I have the down from the rafters account.
What happened with his son?
Yes, it is me. I am down from the rafters.
Admit it.
Let's go, brother!
Yes.
Go, brother! Yeah!
Like a
No,
weight
that
has
just
been
got
lifted
clipped.
off his shoulder.
Oh, hallelujah.
Hallelujah, brother.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Now what, duty?
Everybody bow down to
Bow
the bow
Oh my
down
God.
to the king.
You understand how stupid this thing is? It's just
No,
like
it really is. That's why
That's
it's like,
why it's
Hey guys, you don't have to echo each other.
Yeah, but
You're
wait,
like Andy, you don't want.
wait a minute. He admitted it facetiously.
He did.
Like I checked out a little bit there in the
I
middle when they
suppose.
started yelling.
He did.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
Understand? He plays WWE champions. I'm like, is this game CP? Like, what the fuck? What?
you know,
What is going on?
Like people are like, why don't
It's
you
worse.
do
It's wrestling.
It's worse. It's
Wrestling is the best, brother Josh. We're gonna go to WrestleMania
It
next
makes me
year
wonder
in
if
Las
Ashton
Vegas,
smoked like
dude. We're gonna
2
be
packs
there
a day
together with Phil.
on top of the
It's gonna
yayo.
be great, buddy.
Right?
You better
Wait,
believe it.
pause.
Josh.
$250,000 man has gifted 20 subscribers.
Very raspy voice.
Holy shit! Thank you.
But I think
And
that might be
Tetra
from
Pak
his
for
constant
10
yelling.
Subscribers. Big support. Thank
Let's
you.
get some subs.
Suffolk
Possibly.
for 10.
Or
subs.
getting KO'd
Dude,
after
thank you
one
so
punch in a
much.
ring.
Big support. anymore.
Probably. Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Oh, there we have it. Phil runs the Dark from the Rafters account.
Got punched right in the
lies
throat.
that he runs it. We have he's banning Derek from
The
chat.
Dark from the Rafters?
And,
Was PPP even listening?
You run it like side scrollers, brother. Well, obviously that wasn't very good.
No.
It wasn't
Oh my
very
God.
effective. The side scrollers interview. People ask like, why didn't you run it
He's
like
wondering
that?
how his chair's not broken
Well, we can
yet.
see that if you actually are just
For the next meal
reasonable,
he's
Phil,
about to
that maybe Phil
swallow.
can work with you.
Look, sometimes there's uncomfortable things you have to ask people, or you make a joke about someone, but you have to understand, how to be reasonable in the end with anyone, because there is a way to talk to people, even if you don't like them or get along or have never talked to them and don't believe in their beliefs. But yeah, man.
You have any other
I thought he was going to say
questions
that
for
you have to
Phil,
remember these are
Josh,
all
or Phil,
jokes.
do you have
He's
a
like, oh,
question
you have to
for
ask people
Josh?
questions and be
We'll let
reasonable
Josh
in the
go
end.
first, and I'll say
All
something.
right. All right. Yeah.
Oh man, I'm trying to think. I don't think so. Because I think a lot of the big questions are all about like the finances and stuff. And if he doesn't want to talk about it, he doesn't want to talk about it. So I don't really have any kind of angle.
Ding, ding,
for
ding.
that. I will ask this though. You said that okay, actually, I do have a question. So you said that there's been kind of like a turnaround. What does that mean for you? Like you said that things are turning around. Is that just like in terms of perception and people's amicability towards you, or is that like a financial thing, or is it both?
I mean, I would be very, very disingenuous if I was going to say, oh, I haven't made any extra money these past couple of weeks. I mean, of course I have. I'm doubling, tripling in some cases what I would make on a normal stream. That's amazing.
My income is doubled.
For me, what's actually more important than that is to finally be treated with some level of human respect. I didn't ever get treated with dignity for about a decade. I'm gonna have a discussion with ReviewTech USA.
A man who
he says he
begs
wants to
for
have a
money.
discussion. Come to find out, I can't talk with him unless I'm trapping him and having a conversation about all this fucked up stuff. It's like, why can't I just have a normal human conversation with someone? What did I do that I can't be respected like a normal person? Why can't I go on side scrollers and be a normal guest like everyone else? Why was I treated like some kind of a fucking criminal that needed a 5-hour interrogation instead?
So let's recap the
That's
situation.
where I feel like the turnaround is happening right now.
I did
where
nothing wrong.
People are seeing me in a different light, a positive light, rather than this negative attacking
You ain't wrong,
light.
H-bombs.
And that feels amazing. It's a huge weight lifted off my shoulders because I have tried so hard in the last decade to change as a person and be a better person. I feel like I've done that, but no one wanted to acknowledge it because they just wanted to continue the meme of hate on Phil. So yeah, I would say that there's a turnaround in more ways than one. And I'm really, really grateful to everyone involved, you guys, and all the viewers, and everyone out there, my fans who've been along these 10 tough years. It's all because of everyone. It's not just me. It's not, it's just everyone together.
Okay.
It's amazing, the thing that's happening right now.
I mean, you say that like you the way you kind of poach it, like this is at the end of 10 years. Do you feel like there's a light at the end of the tunnel that you're very close to at this point?
I don't know if it's light, because here's the thing, and I've said this too. My life and my experience has gone like this. It's called, you get a big crest, a big wave of popularity and positivity, and all of a sudden, boom, you go way down.
It's
now
the
you're at
same
bottom of the
script every
valley of
time.
Shit, right? And that's how my life has been.
Time.
Create like crests and valleys, crests and valleys. Right now, it seems like I'm on the way up. Maybe that's good. Maybe it's not. Maybe things will change overall for the better. But I've been beat up a lot, and because of that, I do have this nagging feeling in the back of my head that things could turn for the worse. I don't know. Maybe it will, maybe it won't, right? I think it's a human thing.
Salt. That's all I can taste is salt.
And I'm just going to paraphrase it, but he essentially asked, like, do you feel like you've been living in isolation for a long time and kind of that you're, interacting with very few people online and in real life?
Yeah, he's a Hikikomori.
You've been interacting with us and other people now. How do you feel? Do you feel like there's been a opening up? Does it feel good?
Yeah, remember when I started on YouTube, it was the complete polar opposite of what I've been through in the last 10 years. Everyone liked me. I was the ultimate underdog YouTuber who blew up.
Here we go again.
I had tons of positive comments, and people wanted me to go to conventions so they could meet me and shake my hand, and I would sign autographs and shit. And then when I moved across the country about 10 years ago from Connecticut to Washington,
We saw your panel, dude. There was only a quarter of the room filled.
This is how you don't play. People started, doxing me, started DDoS attacking me, got me swatted, false copyright strikes, and 10 years. Where it's
You
like,
doxed yourself,
I'm
bro.
waiting.
You
Will
were
there
showing
ever
your
be a
mail
break in this? Will there
in a
ever be
video
turn
that
of
you
the tide?
uploaded.
And it feels like it's happening finally right now. And it does give me great relief. Now I can actually have open comments on my videos and on my Twitter because it's not a vast majority of shitbags crapping on me anymore. It's actually positive people.
Nah, because
with
you
me.
figured
This
out that
is
Twitter
amazing.
Blue
It
allows
really
you to
is life-changing
monetize.
at this point.
Oh.
Do you? I kind of want to vouch for Mike Klum because I
No, I think
spoke
he's
to
talking
him
about
about
YouTube
you,
comments.
because he's reached out to me because he felt like he as you noticed, he was speaking to detractor channels, and
He has to approve
after
every
speaking
comment.
to them, he had
He
come to the
also
conclusion
paid
that they had an
for
extremely negative bias
highlights,
towards you. So he kind of reached out to me because they all said, "Don't talk to Josh,"
even though
They
he
said,
was
"Don't talk to
butthurt
that guy,
about
son."
losing
Oh,
the
yeah,
check
So he reached
bar.
out to me to try and get like a more neutral perspective, and I think he was really trying to do you right.
And having never
I'm
wanting to
very
pay
encouraged,
Elon.
'cause I did enjoy his other
Right.
documentary.
It was
I
great.
totally
I'm
agree.
curious-
It's my detractors who spun it the other way. I've said nothing but positive things about Mike Club. I think he was really
So
had
you
his
you,
mind
back,
in the
you
right
backed out of
place.
the documentary.
That's not true.
You're
You-
right, I did, but that had nothing to do
Would
with him.
you? Was it just like it couldn't do it at that moment, or were you against the idea?
You've explained this on our
Wait a
show
minute,
before,
what did
but
he
tell
ever say
Josh
negative
what the
about
reason
Mike
was.
Klum?
It was
He said that Mike Klum was what was it? He felt like it was going to be a rug pull or something like that. Oh no, that he dodged a bullet with backing out because of his association with EDP.
Oh yeah, but that wasn't. Oh yeah. But that wasn't even necessarily saying bad things. He realized after he pulled out that he was happy that he did because there was going to be a documentary about EDP.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
There's
sorry, I
two
haven't heard
reasons.
that.
The first reason is I
And his
felt like to do
viewers
that
also
documentary, that's
were
something
telling
that I
him
would
not
want
to do it because of what happened with
at,
side
like, the end of the
scrollers.
road. So
Yeah.
it's like a cumulative thing and it covers everything.
Okay, yeah.
And
You
I don't
got
feel like
me.
I'm at the end of my journey at all. I feel like I'm only 42 years old. I'm planning.
And
to
then
do this
Mike
for a while.
Klum went and
I'm
started
not in a
talking to
desperate
other
situation like
people
Boogie where I need
about
to
meeting
turn around
Phil
with my
and his
life, like he
wife
was
and being
trying
in the
to do, and
house.
That's really what his
Yeah.
sob story
Yeah,
documentary
yeah.
was going to be, or tried to be. So number one, I started working with him, and the more that we talked about it, I was like, I don't really know if this is going to be what I want or is really going to benefit me that much. And that gets to part two.
Yeah, there was
It
no
gonna
working,
take
there was
a
communication.
lot of time and work to do.
Yeah.
It
I'm
was
just
gonna be
glad he
a lot
didn't
of
spend
filming,
the
a lot
thousands of
different things. It was
dollars
going to
that
mess
was
with
being
my schedule.
recorded.
It was going to mess
Yeah.
with my family life with my wife. And to be honest, I already overwork myself. I work 6 days a week full time on this. And now I'm going to have
Yeah, Phil
less
wasn't
going
going
to
be able
my
to
wife
beg
be
because he
doing
was
this.
going to be
Like, that's
working,
easy.
making
gushed
money.
about
Like,
how
just unbelievable.
responsible you were with your schedule and how you would communicate with him about how, look, I stream for these hours and I will not interrupt these blocks of time for anything. So it has to be outside that. He was very
Right.
He was very flattering about how hardworking you were, and he said that if
Respectable.
you're not as successful as you would like to be, it has nothing to do with how much sweat you put into it, because you do put in a ton of sweat equity in your work.
That's a very nice thing for him to say. And I will just say this, like, the reason it really didn't happen is because with the insane amount of time and effort
Simply
it was gonna take
because
to
he
do
has a
that
work
while
ethic
also
doesn't mean
maintaining
he's
a
actually
business,
working.
I was
Yeah.
afraid that the payout wasn't going to
He
be
only
there.
has a
Like,
work
who
ethic
knows how this
because his
documentary
job
will be
is
received by
sitting.
the internet, especially when so many people just don't like me. No one had given me the chance yet to be seen in
Yeah,
a different
exactly.
light. People could just focus on certain parts that are really negative, and that's the only thing anyone talks about. Wasn't convinced that at the
Phil, you
the
had that
amount of
chance, and
effort
because
time I was
people
gonna
asked
put
you
into it, that was gonna
questions and then
benefit
talked
me,
about
my
you
business,
after the
or my
first part of
image,
the
and that's
Side
why I
Scrollers
put the
interview, you got
kibosh on.
butthurt.
But
Yup.
we had actually stayed kind of amicable, and I said we could possibly talk about stuff.
I didn't
in
get
the
a fair
future.
chance. You knew it was
I
coming,
don't know
going
what's
on.
gonna happen now because no one's really like heard from him for a while. I don't know if he's working on that EDP documentary or
And you know, the thing of it with the side scrollers, I'm not trying to defend them, but at every turn they asked you, is this okay? Are you sure you want to go this way? Are these lines of questions okay with you? I don't understand how he's saying that they were unfair or at all biased against him when they probably gave him one of the fairest shakes he's ever gotten. You know, and then with Keemstar,
That's true. They did.
yeah,
And I'm sure there was conversations before.
yeah, and then with Keemstar, they were full on ready to kick him off, but they asked you if it was okay.
Right?
Yeah, how the fuck? This
or
is
anything
bullshit.
else. But at this point, like, I'm not really interested in doing a
And
documentary.
the mood
because I don't
changed
feel
real
like it's
quick.
time yet.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to suggest that since things are looking up, it doesn't have to be a comprehensive documentary, but if you're hoping to end that narrative on a more positive note, if you're feeling good about where you're at right now, where you're going, that might be worth considering. I just thought I would throw it out there because I was interested in seeing this.
A fair point.
I think so too. Yeah.
Let's see where the journey goes, right? And if it goes well, yeah, maybe. We'll see.
I want to go back. Yeah, go ahead, Josh.
Sorry, but you said that how long do you want to be DSP? Like just in general, like do you see like a retirement age? Like you're gonna cash in an IRA at like a specific age, or do you have like a plan for how long
he
you're
can't
gonna
afford
run
to
it?
retire?
The thing is, like, as much as I'd like to have a plan, it
Nope,
seems like
he doesn't
every
think
time that I
about the
put out
future.
plans in my
It's
life,
gonna be
something
great.
just smashed the fucking plan to pieces, you know. And it's like, especially the job that I have is so unpredictable. You don't know what's gonna happen. Am I even gonna be able?
No
to be a
honeymoon
YouTube
after
streamer
5
for another
years.
few years? Is YouTube gonna change, and I got to go to another format?
All
or
she
whatever?
wants to do is go to the
truth
zoo.
is, at least I know that I have a dedicated group of followers who've been with
So
me for
much
so
so she
long that I've been
became
able
one
to
of
do
the
it no matter
animals.
what, whether I'm on Twitch or on YouTube or whatever. I know I cannot be a gamer till I die, right? I'm gonna get carpal tunnel, man. I'm not gonna have hand-eye coordination.
Dude, there's
play
80-year-old
Street
grandmothers.
Fighter
Enough
and
with the
Call of
carpal
Duty.
tunnel.
You're right.
But what I'd like to do is branch out and do different things, which it looks like I'm actually doing right now, and have the ability to do
Even if
different
you played
kinds of
card games.
commentary on different things, whether it's the news, whether
Do
it's
some D&D.
politics, whether it's whatever, just commenting over videos like you guys do, you know, and I think that potential is
He's
there.
gonna be
'Cause I really
70
haven't
years old
dabbled
on
in it
here
that
playing
much. I've
Jim
just been doing
Rummy.
gaming for
Right.
so long.
100%.
I don't want to be a full-time streamer
Solitaire.
forever, but I would like to at some point at least maintain
How do I
some
reset
kind
this
of a following on the
computer?
internet because I love it so much. I absolutely love this job. I don't want to lose that connection that I have with my audience and be able to have
It's
meaningful
rigged.
conversations and hangout sessions. I just
This
don't
is
think I
such
can do it
bugged
full
gameplay
time forever.
mechanics.
You know,
See,
it's
I
like
put the
I'm
card
too old. Who
here.
wants to
It
see the
doesn't work.
70-year-old crotchety dude trying to play Street Fighter and can't even push the buttons? So
I mean,
so
there
I
was
have
a
no-
70-year-old guy playing RuneScape.
How do you count to 21?
That is true. I do know about that guy. Yes. So, but yeah, like long term, I want to keep doing it as long as I can. And then when I see
Bullshit,
signs I
Phil.
can't. Maybe but the thing is,
Just as
hopefully,
long
if there's
as
a
the
turnaround
money's
and there's
there.
positivity, and I have money, and I can have savings, and I can have retirement funds now. That thing can happen, you know. I can eventually say, okay, I don't have to do it till I die. But you know, I haven't
Well,
had
quit
that
the
opportunity in
WWE
many
champions
years.
yesterday,
We got
Phil.
bankruptcy and all this shit going
Right,
on.
Ban
dude.
Now it
Derek
looks
and
like
ban
things
your
are turning around,
account.
and maybe that's how I said when I say
He's
this is
gonna be
life-changing, that's
65
not
with
an
the same
exaggeration.
broken
That's an
dishwasher.
actual statement of fact.
Oh my god.
Let me tell
Could
you,
imagine?
my favorite videos.
No,
that
he
I've
won't be
ever
living
done.
in the same
There are
place.
a
He'll be
couple that stand
foreclosed
out,
on and
none
forced
of
out
them
by
have
then.
anything to do with like. Well, I mean, the Street Fighter videos where you got angry are very funny. But my favorite video you have ever done is the unboxing of Final Fantasy.
Yeah, but he's gonna
13.
take the
Everyone
big
loves
box
this
video.
It's the
video.
best video.
Everyone loves
I don't
this
think you
video.
can do
It's the
that.
best.
Not when the police evict you.
That's great.
That and the
ultimate
cooking
frustration.
videos. I miss I miss the cooking with the king.
No.
He's gonna be
Um,
streaming as a
Poorly
what do they
cooking
call
with
them
the
when
kid. You have to
when you
add
don't
that in there
leave?
because that was the whole idea. Is that it
squatter?
was me being a dunce trying to cook and making terrible food.
Guys, they turned off the water.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't
Yeah,
know
squatters,
how-
It was
exactly.
very funny. Like,
Forcibly
how I'm gonna
we had
removed.
the camera in one hand and we're
Yep.
trying to open like.
But by then
can't-
his wife
the
won't
other,
fit out
and
the
it's
front
like
door.
A tragedy.
I can't leave. Cat stuck upstairs.
Probably the reason I ran out and bought a tripod for the first time when I was trying to do that
For the
series.
cooking
Yeah.
streams. Yeah.
Yeah.
Josh, you have
Cut
to
out the
watch.
side
She lives
of
in the
house with
garage.
forklift.
the noodles in the cup.
He must have seen.
The cup noodles with the spoon.
The cup noodles. Yo, instead of boiling the water, he uses the hot water from the water
Coffee
cooler.
maker, the Keurig,
Water
the-
cooler.
Back to a DSP
And the-
history
yeah, and the
lesson.
spoon.
He's like,
and
why is it so hard?
Did you see the bacon grease one where he just flushes that shit?
Right down the toilet.
Why are they so hung up on the
That's
Final
my
Fantasy
problem.
15
I didn't
Cup of
know.
Noodles
I was
episode?
an idiot. I didn't know what the hell I was doing.
honestly
Fucking
don't know.
so
dunce.
funny.
When I started on YouTube,
Fuck
I was
the
just fucking
landlord.
around. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing.
In his 30s, and he's
Anything.
never had ramen
Anyway,
noodle before.
Fucking stupidity.
I want
Right?
to say one other thing. Can we all just agree? Fuck the IRS. Fuck them.
Fuck
Fuck
that.
'em.
Fuck the IRS. I know, Phil. You know you would never ever scam the IRS.
No, but
but
yo,
if
scam,
you did, it
fuck
was
'em.
fucking base.
It's
Fuck
righteous.
them. Tell
He
them,
did
Josh.
scam the
800 and
IRS.
600, $865 billion a year budget with a return on investment
Defrauded
of
them.
1 to 6. 15% or more of every dollar you send to the IRS is used to tax you. 15% waste. every dollar cent for the privilege of being taxed, so that the majority of that money
Oh,
can go
now
to
we see what
social
Josh and
welfare
DSP have
programs
together. They
that
don't
do
want to
not
pay their
do
taxes.
anything for our country, and then they take out loans, and it just sinks us deeper and deeper forever. As far as I'm concerned,
Yeah, they don't take care of the
anyone who
schools.
gets
They don't
away
take
with
care of the
not giving money
roads.
to
Yeah,
the
they don't do anything
IRS
for our
is
country. There's no
enriching
unemployment.
our
There's no social
entire
security.
planet for a
There's no
better future.
EBT.
Tax free, bitch.
Tax free! God bless the king. He's tax free, baby.
It's really funny listening to
I
Canadians
do have
talk
one
about
final thing I'd like to
tax-free.
say to Josh, because I know we're at the end of our time now.
Hell yeah, for sure.
So, Josh, first of all, thanks for having the conversation. I know we're never going to agree on certain points, right? I have this morality. I think there's things there that you shouldn't have on the site. You're going to always have them there.
Yes,
But
you've come to a
be
pass
able
and
to
feel
come
you don't
together
have
and a civil
morality.
conversation
Otherwise, you
is
wouldn't beg
meaningful, I
and
think,
you
to
wouldn't be an
everyone. I think
atheist.
Everyone who watched this probably learned something and got something out of it, and that's what it's really all about, right?
Yep.
But I will say this. I feel like I know this is another silly analogy. I like to make a lot of silly analogies. Like, in a lot of ways, I kind of see you like Dr. Frankenstein, okay? And what I mean by that is,
Blake,
with Dewey Farms, you had a good intention. You want to figure out a way to create life from death. This is going to change humanity, right? People will be able to live forever if I can perfect this technology, if only. And then the lightning bolt came down, and when the dude got up, and he starts fucking destroying everything around him, and everything's getting smashed. And
How are people living
about
forever
that?
through a forum?
Right?
Everyone dies, right? The monster
Yeah,
dies.
he
Everyone
kills the
dies.
creator. So if
Oh,
I
he's
get killed
talking
by my
about
creation,
Frankenstein.
you'll
That's
be
what I mean.
seen as
Here's
a-
the thing.
Yeah, it is
Right.
cringe.
This is what's
Careful
scary
what
is
we
like,
speak into existence here.
Yeah.
yeah.
Go ahead,
I
Phil.
hope
Definitely
that
cringe.
you're at a point in your
Yeah.
life, like you said, I think you said you were 30 years old. You're at a point in your life when you're going to realize, at least from
Where's
my
the
perspective,
Thanos
that it's just
snap
not worth
comment?
it, and that you'll be able to put
Right,
down
with
the
the
monster
serious
before the monster
intent
puts
looking
you down. I
in,
really hope that,
like
because it doesn't
puppy
seem to
dog
me like you're a
staring
bad
into the
guy from
camera.
the
Like,
conversation we've
leave
had
me
today.
alone.
I just think that we're at different planes of existence morally, and I would hate to see that site be the end of you or your happiness.
Yes,
in
Phil,
life
you have
because
come to an
let it go
impasse.
too
Quit
long or too
repeating
far.
yourself with different
Right?
terms.
I'm not going to be the guy who's going to come after you for anything. I'm not. I don't go after my detractors. You're never going to see a lawsuit from DarksydePhil. I'm not a fucking asshole.
You
all right?
can't afford
But
to
I am
do so.
worried
You've said it
with the shit
yourself.
That's been going on.
He
that's gonna
would
be the end of it.
definitely. He would.
And at some point in your life, you may have to draw that line. And
Then
be
you
like,
should put
"It's not
Superhound
worth
in
it anymore."
check.
You know, I got to stop. And it might be the best decision in your life to do that. And to
Don't
kill the
worry,
monster before it
highly
gets
more
too late.
successful
I
man
think
than
you
me.
should
I
think
can't
about
try
that.
you
I'm
in
not saying
court.
You have to do it
Just
today
letting
or
you know.
tomorrow, but I think it's something you should seriously
Exactly,
soul search
but
and think
it's
about,
completely
because it might be
wrong
best
what
for
you're
you.
doing.
And
But
for a
keep
lot of
doing
other
it
people as
because
well.
I can't do anything to
Well,
stop you.
my perspective is simply this: that we are in an unprecedented era where the internet is.
And by the
smaller
way,
and more
I
insular than
haven't
it's
gotten the
ever
king's
been.
tax
There is more
today,
traffic
so
on fewer
snort.
websites, and that is not good for the health of humanity as a whole. And I think that there is an
Snort. I
attack
don't snort.
on freedom
I
of
go
expression
ack,
and the ability to share
okay?
truthful information on the internet. And the only way to combat that is for certain people, which
The man
I
of
include
a
myself in,
freaking
to
troll
say,
forum
not
is talking
one
about
step
philosophy.
hold
Right,
the line.
and-
Every single right must be protected at all costs. Because if you don't have people doing that, and granted, my realm is very small, it's just a gossip website, but if you don't have people doing that in general, everybody, you don't even know what you're losing until it's gone.
That's not inside
and I know that
the
the Kino
binds
Farms
of
is
the
just-
United
it's just
States
a
government, so it's a
speck
server in another
terms of, like,
country.
the grand picture, but I think everything helps. Every little thing helps in regards to that.
Okay, guys. Well,
Wow.
we really appreciated having you both on. Maybe we should.
I'll
play
admit they
games
have
together.
put some people
Who's
in jail
got
thanks
30
to that
minutes
site.
more for video games. I
It's a
guess
bit late
no,
for me.
no,
I
I
guess
apologize.
not. But we
No, that was a
appreciate both of
great
you guys
talk.
coming on, sharing your
Thank you.
perspectives. They couldn't be any more different. You
For
couldn't
real.
be any more different as people. But we were able to have a civil conversation about very controversial, very inflammatory topics. And,
What? They're
I
different
thought it was
people?
Really good.
It was good.
I really, really enjoyed it, and I hope you guys enjoyed it too.
Yeah, no,
That
definitely.
was pretty
Josh.
interesting.
Thanks, man.
Really well.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and DSP, we hope you got all your grievances out. And again,
Yeah, it's
there
always
are
nice when
things
they
you
do
won't
something
agree with,
different.
but I think
Yeah.
that was very positive convo. Who knew? Huh?
Wow.
Out of curiosity, is your talk with
Yeah, that went
Keemstar
nowhere.
with just
They
you
were
and
just
Keemstar, or is it
go
also
anywhere,
moderated by,
circling the block.
Kino Casino?
No,
It's
that's
just us. It's just
on
me
his
and Keem.
channel.
That's it.
God.
That's on his channel
Good luck with
tomorrow.
that shit.
You know what? I think you'd be surprised. I think Keem's turning the corner on Phil.
We have his segment
Don't
after
let him
this,
talk you into
actually.
being on Locale Live.
No.
Don't let him
You
do
know-
it.
I am
What?
the last person you have to
After
worry
everything
about.
that happened
Let me
today,
put it this
he's
way.
playing
I've been
both
through so much
sides,
shit in
guys.
my life at this
Yep.
point that I'm the last person to get the wool pulled
Oh,
over his eyes
definitely.
on shit. Okay, I am so skeptical of this stuff.
Yeah.
So don't worry about
Stop
that.
talking with your
It's gonna
hands,
be
Phil.
Very interesting.
I'm very
it's gonna be
curious.
Triple P, the
I'm very
world's
curious
fattest
to watch
champion,
that tomorrow. What
he
time
does
is
I'm
that?
excited. No,
What time
that's is that tomorrow?
It's Wednesday morning.
Wednesday.
I'm gonna turn the stream on at 11 a.m. Pacific time because as
Why
you
does
guys
everybody
know,
keep
I have
thinking
some
it's
technical
tomorrow?
issues trying to get Discord working.
Yeah,
Because
So
these
I'm gonna-
guys,
I'm gonna
every
work with
day
my
is the
chat to
weekend
get
to
it
them.
working
They
for
don't.
half
They
an
have
hour. He's
only
gonna come
thing they
around
know is they
1:30
stream
and
every
then we'll
day
go
or
for
every
an
other
hour,
day.
hour and a half.
Yeah. As long as your hardware acceleration's off, you should be fine. But yeah, so we're looking I'm forward to that.
You can tell Andy's
yeah.
like,
Who
I've
knows
already
where else
explained
the
this
arc
to
goes
you,
from here,
dumbass.
but we're gonna be gone for a couple of weeks. So
Yeah,
maybe
after
we
this.
started the fire.
Yeah.
I believe I can cause
Oh, no.
chaos. So
Yeah.
let's see where it goes.
All right,
The
guys.
real test
Thank
is
you
going to
so
be
much.
Wednesday when
All
he
right, we'll
interviews
see y'all
Keemstar
later.
Ryan.
What song was that?
Easy.
Which
Easy.
one?
All right. Let's
All right, guys,
get
we're
to-
still
believe
gonna
I can
do
start
some
the
more
fire.
show for you guys. We're gonna read the super chats here in a minute. I think we're just gonna take a quick break. I'm gonna
I
take
don't
a
know.
piss.
Yeah.
All right.
All right,
Oh God, I don't want to sit here for
man.
this.
Oh, me neither.
Sorry, I should have
I'm-
switched that thing a
I'm
little bit.
done. That was long.
No.
I'm out on that. No, thank you.
I can't take any more of them clapping, singing, screaming while they read stupid chats.
Yeah, and harp like seals, bro. Ugh. All right, guys.
Definitely not.
Oh yeah, the unnecessary clapping into the mic.
Right? It's just absolute ridiculousness. All right. I'm going to hop off here, guys.
All right, so we gonna watch something else, or are we calling it?
Oh, no, I'm calling it.
All right,
All right, man.
guys.
Yeah. Bye, dudes.
All right, thanks for having us on, man.
Yeah, no problem.
All right,
Thank
later, man.
you.
Thanks for having.
Later. No problemo. Hopefully that worked. All right, guys. I will see you next time. Thanks for watching. That was a long discussion. We might be back for fighting games tonight. I don't know. Have a good one, guys. See you next time.
I want to play games. I want to chill with you guys. That's what I'm here for. I'm not here to fucking make a buck, you know?